live maak. Goeiemiddag, dames en heren. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you to the monthly Karoo online auction. Dis vir ons lekker om maandeliks hierdie veiling te kan aanbied en ek dink ons het weer eens vir julle 'n baie mooi aanbieding kalvers bymekaar gemaak. Ons is baie trots oor die aanbieding en ons is baie dankbaar vir ons kliënte wat hierdie mooi beeste vir ons beskikbaar maak. Dames en heren, ek wil net so vinnig deur die basiese reëlings van die veiling hardloop voordat ons begin. Soos altyd gaan ek vir julle getal op die totaal gee en ek gaan vir jou ossies en versies gee. Dit is naastenby. As dit met 1 of 2 verskil, verstaan dit, maar ons probeer so akkuraat as moontlik daarso wees op die osvers getalle. En dan entings gaan ook aangedui word op die katalogus, so heersende siektes wat geënt is, as ook back and claw, dit sal aangedui word op die katalogus en ek sal dit so deur die loop van die veiling ook vir julle deurgee. I'll just highlight those as we move through the auction. VAT is payable on all the animals, on all the transaction, BTW betaalbaar. En dan baie belangrik, ons laaiperiode, ons probeer teen einde volgende week die beeste weg hê. Sover kry ons dit mooi reg om dit te doen. So na die veiling, kyk uit vir oproepe van myself of van die Karoo bemarkers, maak kontak met ons, laat ons dan net die vervoerreëlings in plek kry. Daar's logistiek rondom dit, soos die bekkery van die beeste wat 2 dae voor laai moet gebeur, wat ons moet reël. So praat met ons onmiddellik na die veiling as jy weet wat jy gekoop het, hoe en wanneer jou lorries beskikbaar is, sodat ons dan met die boere ook kan praat en daai ding so vlot as moontlik kan laat loop. Ons glyskaal, op hierdie stadium is dit nog presies dieselfde soos al die ander veilings. Ons gaan 'n geskatte gewig gee. Daar's 'n 10 kg grasie boontoe, daarna is daar 'n 7 sent per kilogram penalisasie. So as die aangeduide gewig 250 is, tot op 260 bly die prys dieselfde, daarna word hy 7 sent per kilogram minder. Goed, dames en heren, dit is dan nou die reëlings. So die weegpunte gaan aangedui word soos wat elke boer dit aandui. Die laaipunt sal op sy plaas wees, in oom se geval sal die weegpunt in die dorp wees. So ek sal die laaipunt en die weegpunt ook vir julle deurgee. Van die pakkies sal by ons houkrale wees, of op Tosca of op Vryburg, waar jy hulle kom laai. Ander pakkies gaan op die plaas gelaai word, maar in die dorp geweeg word. Ek probeer daai inligting vir julle herhaal, maar julle kopers sal sien op die katalogus is dit aangedui. Jou laaipunt is jou laaipunt en jou weegpunt gaan die naaste weegbrug wees. Goed, ek dink dit is dan nou al die inligting wat julle nodig het. Soos altyd veil ons hulle per kilogram op, so jy gaan nie 'n eenheidsprys hoor nie. Ons veil per kilogram op, en dan is die inkremente 25 sent inkremente. Right, ons gaan net die televisie vir die mense op die vloer net gou weer connect. Die bekkoste, so die koper, jy betaal die botprys wat jy insit, en jou vervoer. Die bekkoste is vir die boer se rekening, die verkoper se rekening. So praat ook met ons, as ons moet bystand gee, of jy reël met jou veearts, dat hulle gebek word, daai rekening dan vir die boer. So jy as koper, koop 'n gebekte bees, en jy, die vervoer is dan nou vir jou rekening vanaf die laaipunt. Goed, die eerste pakkie, dames en heren, terwyl ons die televisie aangaan, dit gaan glad nie ons kopers aanlyn affekteer nie. Jy kan vir my lot 1 aktief maak daarso. Is alright, maar dit gaan ons daarom nie ons kopers affekteer nie. So jy kan kyk, ons kan net lot 1 aktief bring. Kom maar. Right, daar's lot 1, dames en heren, so ons sal nou die televisieskerm vir julle op die vloer wegkry. Glyskaal inskop, Charolais kruiskalvers daarso, dames en heren, en hulle is gespeen vroeg Augustus. Hierdie kalvers gaan geweeg word op Swizer en jy kan hulle of op die plaas laai, of by die veilingskraal in Swizer. So kommunikeer net met ons as jy verkies om op die plaas te laai. Weens jou biosekuriteitrelings, praat met ons so. Alternatiewelik kan hulle inkom tot by die veilingskraal. Die weegpunt gaan by die grondboontjie fabriek wees in Swizer. Right, dames en here, ons begin dan met lot nommer 1. Take it away, ladies and gentlemen. What do we do? Start them at 50. I'm bid number to go. Ek het 50 dan nou. At 50 bid number to go, at 50. 50 now. At 50 I'm bid number to go, 50, 50 bid yeah. At 50 rand take it under 50, 50 asking 25 to go. At 50 I'm bid number to go, 25, 50, 25. At 50, 50. Ek het 50 rand, 50, 50 on the floor. At 50, 50 bid number to go, 50, 50 yeah. At 50, 75, 51. 51 bid now. At 51 the bid number at 51. At yen and fight at 51 at 1 bid number at 51 here. At 51 25 51 50. At 51 50 bid now. At 51 50 taking under at 51 50. At 51 50 on the floor number 51 75 52 52 bid yeah. At 52 taking under at 52 now. At 52 I'm bid number at 2 but now at 52. At 2 and fight under at 52 on the floor. At 52 bid yeah under at 2 at 25 52 50 back on the floor now. At 52.50, at 52.50, at getting under at 52.50, at 52.50, but yeah, at 52.50, asking 75 to go. At 52.50, but yeah, under at 52.50, at 52.50, 50, but under number 52.50 is op die vloer. At 52.50, once, 52.50, twice, 75, 52.75. 53. 53 is on the floor. Ek het 53. At 53 bid yeah. At 53 the bid 25, 53, 50. At 53, 50 back on the floor. At 53, 50 but yeah. At 53, 50 it take now 75, 54. At 54, at 54 but yeah. At 54 it taking under at 54 bid now. At 54 it taking under number 54, 54 bid number 25, 54, 50. So about at 54, 50. At 54, 50 but yeah. At 54, 50 it take now. At 54, 50 bid number 54, 50, 75, 55, at 55 op die vloer nou, and about 55, at 55 the bid, yeah, but I can 55 now, at 55 the bid, now but I can 55, at 5, I can bid, now but I got 55, at 55 around asking 25 to go, the bid's 55 on the floor, at 55 around the Matla, but now but I got 55, at 55 around the we all are done at 55, we're going to go, but I got 55 once, 55 twice, all out, all done at 55. Sold at 55 rand a kilo, bye donkey, en ek om een op die vloer. Is kan 'n mens nie 'n kabel op die grootte sit nie. Wow, okay. Hy wil nie op die wifi gaan vir ons 'n kabel sit, laat hy net direk 55 koop nommer 1. Right, dames en here, ons gaan dan na lot nommer 2 toe. Lot nommer 2 uit die Piet Plessis omgewing. Lot nommer 2 gaan Bovelder kalvers wees. Baie goeie kwaliteit van William Harvey. Soos altyd, ons bring vir julle 30 kalvers. Hulle is helfte. Hulle weeg 240. Die laaipunt gaan wees by Stella veilingskraal, maar jou weegpunt is Piet Plessis boerevereniging. So met ander woorde, die kalvers gaan geweeg word en afgelaai word by Stella. So jy as koper gaan hulle by Stella kom oplaai. Die weegpunt is die boereunie skaal by Piet Plessis. Right, 30 kalvers, helfte. Hulle weeg 240, baie mooi kwaliteit. Hulle is geënt teen back and close, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi, what do we do on them, ladies and gentlemen, asking on them. 49 to go. At 49 rand number to go. Ek het 49 rand number 49 go 25 now. At 49 it getting under number 49's on the floor. At 49 the bid number to got 49 number to got 49. At 25 49 25 bid number to got 49 25. At 49 25 number to got 49 25 bid. At 49, but I got 25 at 5, I got number 49 at 25, yeah. At 49, 25, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done a bit now. At 49 at 25 at 5, I got number, I got 49, 25. At 49, 25, 5 at a bit number, I got 25 at 5, I got number, I got 49, 25, we all out and done, yeah. At 49, 25, dames en heren, a bit number, I got 49, 25, 50. At 49, 50, 50, but again, I got number 49, 50. At 49, 50, bit number, I got 49, 50, 75, 75 bid. At 49, I got 75, 49, 75, do I see 50? Go 50 now. Het sien ek R50. Het 50 to go. Het sien maar dat ek het R50 julle wil. My bot is 49.75 na met die almal klaar. Het 49.75. Het 49.75. Favor bid nou maar ek het 49.75. Het 49.75 sien ek R50 nou. Het 49.75 almal klaar die ander bid nou maar ek het 49.75 now. At 49.75, favor bid now, but I got 49.75. We're gonna go at 49.75 once, 49.75 twice, 50. R50 now, and about 50, at 50 bid yeah, at R50 the under I got now, but I got 50, at 50 bid yeah, at R50 the getting under I got 25, 50, 25, at 50, 25, but now, but I got 50, 25, at 50, 25, favor under I got number I got 25, at favor under I got number I got 25 now. I got R50 at 25 cent under I got 50, 25, go 50, 50, at 50, 25 bid number I got 50, 25. At 50, 25 bidding under the bid number I got 50, 25. Are we all out and done? At 50.25 online with Swiftfear 50.50. Ek het 50 and a bit 50 bid now. At 50.50 do I see 75? At 50.75. At 50.75 bidding on now. At 50.75 a bit yeah. At 50.75 dames het be simmering under a bit number 50.75. What about 51 to go? At 50.75 bidding under a bit number R50 at 5 and 7 now. At 50.75 bid. At 50.75 a bit number I got 50.75. At R5.75 money on my club, but now I got 50.75. At 50.75, we're going to go once now. At 50.75, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go twice. 51 bid. At 51 the bid, yeah, and I got 51 now. At 51 the bid now, but I got 51. At yen and R5 now. At 51, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done? At 51 at bid now, but I got 25. 51, 25. At 51 at 25, half the bid now, but I got 51 and 25 now. At 51, 25 the bid now, but I got 51 at 25, yeah. At 50.25, but I got 51.25, asking 51.50. At 51, but I got 25. But now, but I got 51 at 25 now. At 51.25, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done? At 51 at 25, we're going to go. At 51.25, are we all out and done once? At 51.25, we're going to go twice. Derde, laaste maal. And sold them at 51.25. Baie dankie. Ons koper is 5013. Gaan nou nie makliker van die foon afstream. Kaas nie. Was jy HDMI by die TV nog by die decoder? Ja, die decoder zijn by die kanaal. Right, we go to lot number 3. Lot number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Ons is weer in Swazilandse omgewing. Lot nummer 3. Ons gaan laai op die plaas Bosplaats en dit is so 40 kilos van Swazier af en die weegpunt gaan by die grondmoontjie fabriek wees. 137 kalvers, 80 bulkalvers, 57 verskalvers. Die geskatte gewig is 280 kg. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Hulle is ook geënt teen back and close seer hierdie kalvers, dames en here, in Junie maand. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Lot number 3, take them away. Do I see 50 to go? R50 gaan. 50 the bid. At 50 to go, we say, but I got 50. I'll start at 48, donkey. At 48 the bid. At 48, I got number, I got 48, but number I got 25 to go, but I got number, I got 48 at 25. At 48, but number I got number, I got 25 at 5, but I got 48 at 25 to go. At 48, but number I got 48. Op 48 around the I got number 48, I bid number I got 40. At 48 the bid 25, 48, 25. At 48 I got 25 at 5, but number I got 48, 25. At 48 at 25, but number I got 48, 25. Do I see 50? At 48 at 25, 48, 50 bid now. And I got 48, 50. At 48, 50 the gunner, but number I got 48, 50, 50 bid now. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, but number I got 48, 50. At 48, 50, do I see 75 to go? At 48, 50, 50 bid now, but I got 48 at 50 bid now. At 48, 50 bid now, I got 75. 48, 75. At 48.75, asking 49 to go. At 48.75, the bid here, but I got 48 at 75, sien ek 49 rand as julle wil. At 48.75, the bid now, but I got 48.75, asking 49 to go. At 49, I'm going to number, I got 49. Ek het 49 rand, but now, but I got 49 at 9, but now, but I got 49. Ek het 49 rand, but now, but I got 49, asking 25. At 49, at 49, what about 25 to go? Yeah. At 49.25, at donkey, but now, but I got 49.25, at 49 at 25, at 49 at 25, at but now, but I got 49.25, at 49.25, but now, but I got 49.25, ladies and gentlemen, at 49.25, 50. Ek het 49.50 nou, en ek het 49.50, at 49.50, but now I got 49.50, but yeah, at 49.50, now I got 75, 49.75, but now I got 49 at 75, at 49.75, but now I got 49.75, at 49.75, I got 49.75, at 49.75, 50, I get fight around now, at 50 bid, now I got fight around 300, but now I got 50, at 50 bid, yeah, but I got 50, now I go, I get fight around, but now I got 50, ladies and gentlemen, at 50 bid, yeah, at fight around the Sira Matla, at 50 bid, yeah, but I got fight, at 50, now I got fight around now, at 50, are we all out and done, ladies and gentlemen, of fight around, we go once, we go twice, and sold. At 50, by a donkey, koper is 5-0, 1-2. Right, dames en heren, lot nummer 4. Lot nummer 4. Lot nummer 4 is dan weer in die Vryburg omgewing, dames en heren. Hierdie kalvers word geweeg by die Vryburg skaal en afgelaai by die Karoo se houkraal. So jou laaipunt gaan wees Karoo se houkraal, 85, net 'n klein verandering op julle katalogus wat julle dalk sien. Daar gaan 85 bulkalvers wees en die gewig is 275. 275 by ons marakalvers. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, dames en here. What do we do? Ook geënt teen back and close en knopvel, dames en here. En hulle is gespeen Augustus maand, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Starting at 50 to go. Ek het 50. At 50 rand het ek het 50. At 50 rand het ek nou. At 50, ja, maar ek het 50. At 50 na maar 50 rand gaan. At 50 bid na maar ek het 50 rand gaan. Ek na maar ek het 50. At 50 rand het ek die gaan bid na maar ek het 50. What about 25? At 50 het ek die gaan ek het 25. 50.25. At 50.25 wat ek het 50 rand het 25 sent nou. At 50.25 the bid na maar ek het 50.25. Wanneer ek het 50.25. What about 50.50? At 50.25 wat bid na maar ek het 50.25. 50 en ek het 50.50. At 50 rand 50 sent but now I got 50, ladies and gentlemen. At 50 rand and 50 cent, but now I got 50. What do we do? Yeah. At 50, at now but I got 50, asking 75 at the gone. At 50 rand and 75 cents now. At 50.75. At 50 but 75, but I got 50.75 but now. At 50.75, but I got 50.75, 51 bid. At 51, I got 51 at 100, but now I got 51 now. At yen and 50 rand, I got 51, ladies and gentlemen. At 51 the bid, yeah. At 51, I got number 51, now I got number 51. At 51, but number 51 asking 25. At 51, it take it under, but now I got 51, the bed, ladies and gentlemen, we all are and done, yeah. At yen and 50 rand the kilometer, but now I got 51. At 51, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done, yeah. At I got 25, 51, 25. At 51, 25, but now I got 51 at 25. At 51, 25, I got 51, 50. At 51, 50, but now I got 51, 50. At 51, at 50, but now I got 51, 50. Ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done, yeah. At 51, 50, asking 75 to go. Amalossi so at 51, 50, but yeah. At 51, I got 50, now 51, 50. Are we all out and done? At 51, 50, but now I go 75 as you level. At 51.50, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go now. We're going to sell at 51.50, asking 75 once, 51.50 twice, third and last time at 51.75 the bid. 51.75. At 51.75 do we see? Yeah. At 51 at 75, what about Nerigan number 51.75? At 51 at 75, what about number at 51.75? What about Nerigan 52? At 52 at 52 the bid here. At 52 Nerigan number at 52. At 52 the bid number again number 52. At 52 run now. At 52, ladies and gentlemen. At 52 run the number 52. Two bid number at 52 asking 25. At 52 the bid number at 52 run the 52, what about 25 to go? At 52, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done? Yeah. At 52, around the 52, we go once, 25, 52, 25. At 52, 25 the bid. At 52.25, and a bit now, but I got 52.50 to go. At 52.25, at 52.25 bid. At 52.25, a bit now, but I got a bit now, but 52.25, a bit now, but 52.25. At Senegal, I got 52.50. At 52.50, at 52.50 bid, yeah. At 52.50, in Managanda, I got 52.50, Senegal 75 to go. At 52.50 bid now, but I got a bit now, but 52.50. At 52.50, around the Mamatla, but a bit now, but I got 52.50. What about 75 to go? Yeah. At 52.50. Number 52.50, number 52.50, fair warning. Now we're going to go once. 52.50, tweede laaste maal. At 52.50, I'm going to get 75, 52.75, at 52.75, at 52.75 bid, at 52 at 75 already gone, at 52 at 75 minute, at 52.50, under number 52.25, at 52.50, at 53, sorry, at 53, at 53 the bid, yeah, man, under 53, at 53 the bid, number 53, under Amatla, at 53, ladies and gentlemen, number 53, at 53, I'm asking 25, at 53 the bid, number under 53 now. At 53, ladies and gentlemen, is Amatla, but I got 53. At 53, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go, but I got 53, I'm under number, I got 53. Up 53, under Amatla, but I got number, I got 53, we're gonna go once, yeah. Up 53, under number, I got 53 for die tweede maal. At 53, under is Amatla, derde en laaste maal, is so. Up 53, under Amatla, but I got go at 53. And we sell them there at 53. 53. Baie dankie. Is reg so. Dankie Barend. 5013. Waar is hy? Sien jy? Okay. Right. Dan lot nummer 5. Lot nummer 5, dames en here. Ons is terug dan op lot nummer 5. Piet Plessis omgewing. Dieselfde reëling as die vorige Piet Plessis kalvers. Hulle gaan op Piet Plessis se boerevereniging skaal geweeg word en afgelaai word by Stella. Daar's 30 kalvers, daar's net 2 versies, 28 ossies en hulle weeg 260. Kyk hulle bietjie mooi, baie mooi kalvers, mooi kwaliteit, bless kalvers meneere. Kyk 'n bietjie hierso. What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Start me on them. 50 to go. R50. At 50 to start. Asking 50 bid number, I got 500, I got 50. At 500, I got number 50, number, I got V6, but I got 500. At asking 50 to go. At 7, I got 48, so like begin dankie, but I got 48 now. At 48, I got 25, 48, I got number, I got 48, is nog daar so. At 48, I got number, I got 48. Op 48, I got 25, 48, 25, but I got number 48, 50. At 48, 50 bid number, I got 48, 75, 49, 49 bid number, I got number 49. At 49, the bid number, I got 25, 49, 25, and about 49, 50, at 49, 50 bid number, I got number 49, 75, I got 50, 50 number, I got I get 500, I got 50, at 50 bid number, I got 50 now, I get 500, I got 50, 50 number, I got at 50, I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, 50, 25, 50, 25, bid number, 50, 25, at 500, 25 cent, I got number, 50, 25, 50, 25, asking 50, 50, I get 500, 50 cent, at 50, 50, the bid number, I got 500, 50 cent, at 50, 50 bid number, 50, 50, what do we do now? Asking 75. At 50, 50 the bid number, I got 75, 50, 75. I got 575 cent, I got number 50, 75, 50, 75. At 50, 75, what I got number 51, 51 now. I got 51 gone. The bid's 51, 51. 51 the bid. At 51 rand, die gandere number 51, 51, het ek die gandere 51, at 51 at 1 bid number, I got 51, 25, 51, 25, over the bid number, I got 51 at 25 now. At 51, 25, over the bid number, I got 51 at 25, at 51, 25, over the gandere number, I got 51, 25, what about 50 to go? At 51, 25, the gandere number, I got 51, 25, at 51, 50, at 51, rand, the gandere number 51, 50, at 51, 7, at 51, 75, the bid number, number 51, 75, 51, 75, yeah. At 51 at 75, at number 52 to go. At 51 at 75, is allemaal klaar. At 51, 75, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go by the 52, 52 now. At 52, 25, 52, 25, bid. At 52, 25, at the number 25, at 52, 25, at the number 52, 25. At 52, 25, we're going to go, ladies and gentlemen, at 52, 25. At 52, 25, we go once here. 52.25 we go twice, third and last time, fair warning, and sold at 52.25 by a donkey, 52.25 en ons koopbaar is 5021. Lyk daarom nou reg, hè?
Ja, ek gaan net anders stokkies. Ek gaan net gou van ons saai afspeel en ek het daar op 'n stokkies sit hier.
O, okay. Maar is wel right so. Right, lot nummer 6 nou dames en here, lot number 6, ons is in die Wolmaranstad omgewing, hierdie kalvers gaan geweeg word by Wolmaranstad op die siloskaal en afgelaai word by die veilingskraal in Wolmaranstad, so kommunikeer net mooi met ons daarso, laat ons net daai reëlingkies goed kan tref, daar is heel wat veilings wat daar gebeur, so maak net seker dat ons daar so mooi reëlings tref, maar hulle word geweeg in Wolmaranstad en afgelaai by die veilingskraal. Hulle is 100 en hulle is helfte, so 50 ossies, 50 versies, gewig op hulle gaan 270 wees, ons Mara Beefmaster Brangus tipe kalvers, en kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, hulle is geënt teen back and close, baie goeie kwaliteit kalvers dames en here, kyk hulle bietjie mooi, beter gaan jy nie kry nie, start my op 50 rand, dan gaan ek aan, 50 the bid, 50 to go. Het sien ek 50 rand bid number, I got 50, I'll start 48, 48 dankie, at 48 at 25, 48, 25 bid number, I got 48 at 50, 50 number to go, at 48, 50 bid number, I got number 48, 75, 48, 50 number 75, 49 on the floor, at 49 the bid number, I got number 49, ek het 49 rand, I got number, I got 49, 49 bid number, I got 49 at 25, 49, 25, at 49, 50, 50 number, I got number 49, 50, at 49, 50 bid number, I got 49, 50 bid now, at 49, 50, at 75, 49, 75, at 49, 75, bid number, I got number 49, 75, at 49, 75, I got number 49, 75, at 49, at 75, I got number 49, 75, bid number, I got 50, ek het 50 rand, I got 50, at 50 rand, bid number, I got 50, 50 number, 50 rand, at 50 I'm bid, at 50 I'm bid, here, but I got 50, at 50 are we all out and done, I got 50, asking 25 to go, at 50 I'm bid 25, 50, 50, at 50 rand, I got 50, 50 I'm bid now, at 50, 50, at getting under, I got 50, 50, ladies and gentlemen, at 50, 50, at 50 rand and 50 center, but number, I got 50, 50, 75, 50, 75, at 51, 51 bid, number, I got 25, 51, 25, 51, 50, at 51, 75, 51, 75, at 51, 75, but number, I got number 51 at 75, 51, 75, seen at 52, at 51 at 75, 52, donkey, I got 2, I got 25, 52, 25 now, at 52, 50, but 75, 52, 75. At 52 at 75, sien ek 53 nou. At 52 at 75, but I got 52 at 75, yeah. At 52, 75, bid number, I got 52 at 75, sien ek 53. At 53, dankie, but I got 53. 53 the bid. At 53, I'm bid number, I got 53, 3, but number, I got 53, rand, number, I got 53, but number, I got 53 and a quarter, we say, yeah. At 53, 25, 53, 50, at 53, and about 53, 50 now, 53, 75, bid number, I got 53, but 75, at 53, 75, however, number 54 to go. I got 53, 75, at 53, 75, but number, I got 53 at 75, asking 54, at 53, former, I got 54, 54 bid, at 54 on now, at 54 the bid, number, at 54 at 4, but I got 54, asking 25 to go, yeah. I get 54. Asking 25, at 54 on now, at 54 on the number, I got 54, 54, we're going to go once here, at 54 on the manera Matla, but now, but I got 54, at 54 on the manera Matla, I got 54, we're going to go, at 54 twice, ladies and gentlemen, at 54, third and last time, at 54 Amatlar. and sold at 54. Baie dankie. En die koper is 5013. Right, dames en here, ons gaan na lot nommer 6A toe. Lot nommer 6A. Ons is in die Vryburg omgewing weer, dames en here. Hierdie kalvers gaan geweeg word op Vryburg by die siloskaal en hulle gaan gelewer word by die Karoo houkraal. Daar's 74 in die pakkie, 45 is bulkalvers, 29 is verse. Beefmaster en Charolais kruiskalvers, dames en here, hulle weeg 290 kg. Hulle is geënt teen back and close seer, met ander woorde gewig glyskaal gaan vanaf 300 van toepassing wees. Alright, nou dames en here, hier is hulle nou. Kyk hulle bietjie mooi. 6A, top kwaliteit kalvers, moenie foute maak op hulle nie, dames en here. En sien ek op hulle, dames en here, we say what do we do, lot number 6A, start them, 50 to go, 50. At 50 number to go. At 50 bid number to go. At 50 bid number to 50. 50 number to go. Yeah. At Sinek 50 bid number to get 50. 50 number to go. At 50 bid number to 50. At 50 we say but again to get 50. Ek start loop 48 dankie. At 48 bid number to go. 25 at 48 to go. 25 at number to 48 25 but now. At 48 at 25 bid number to go. 48 25. At 48 50. At 48 50 50 bid number to go. 48 at 50 bid yeah. At 48 50 50 but again to go number to 48 50 50 number but yeah. At 48 fight the number to 48 at 50 50 what about 75 to go. At 48 50 50 number to 48 50 50 but yeah. At 48 50 50 number to 48 50 op 48 fight the meneer almal klaar. Het kyk 'n bietjie mooi so binne at 48 50 klaar geënt die kalvers dames en here kyk hulle bietjie mooi. At 48 75 48 75 now. At 48, 75, 49, Hannah but 49, yeah. Ek het 49 andere number 49, 49 but number 49, 49 bid. At 49 andere but number 49 at 9 but number 25, 49, 25. At 49 at 25 but number 49, 25. At 49, 25 but number 50, 49, 50. At 49 fight number 49, 50, 50 but number 49, 50. At 49, 50 but yeah but 49, 50 kyk hulle bietjie mooi so. At 49, 50 but number 75, 49, 75. At 49 at 75 again number 49 75 ek het 40 maar ek het 50 rand gaan at 50 bit now at 50 rand gaan at 25 50 25 50 bit now maar ek het 25 at 5 again number 50 25 at 50 25 bit now maar ek het 50 25 at 50 rand en 25 sent meneer wie sê 50 50 as jy wil at 50 rand and 25 50 25 50 25 bid asking 50 50 nou meneer kyk 'n bietjie mooi so op 50 rand en 25 sent en dan so nou maar ek het 50 25 at 50 25 we're going to go, yeah. At 50, 25, we're going to get number 50, 50. At 50 rand and 50 cent now. At 75, 50, 75, but number going to get 50, 75, yeah. At 50 rand, 5 and 7 rand, but number going to get number 50, 75, 50, 75 now. At 50, 75, we're asking 51. At 50, 75, we gone. And a bit number again, I got 5 rand and 5 and 7 cent, a bit number again, I got 50, 75, 51, 51 bid. At yen and 5 rand again, I got number 51 at 25, at 5 again, I got number 51 at 25. At 51, 25, half a bit number, I got 51 at 25, at 5 again, I got number 51, 25. At 51, 25, half a bit number again, I got 51 at 25. At 51, 50, at 51, 50, but yeah, at 51, 50, yen and 5 at yen and 5 rand, I got 51, 50, at 51, 50 bid. Number again, I got 51, 50 now. At yen and 5 rand again, I got 51, 50 asking 75. At 51, 50 ladies and gentlemen, I got number 51, 50, 51, 50 come along now. At 51, 50 ladies and gentlemen, we go once. 51, 50 twice. All done. Almal klaar. 51, 50. Kan ek kry? Baie dankie. 5021 the buyer. Lot nummer 7, dames en here. Lot nummer 7 is Karoo omgewing kalvers, dames en here. Jy gaan laai op die plaas Witsambilt Karoo en die weegpunt gaan wees op die dorp. Het ek hom reg so oom Wika? Dankie. 30 bulkalvers, net 'n klein verandering. Ek dink hy gaan klaar so by julle wys. 30 bulkalvers. So dis 30 almal bulkalvers. Die gewig is 250. So die glyskaal skop in vanaf 260. Simbra tipe kalvers, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Baie mooi kwaliteit kalvers. Start my op hulle, dames en here. Wie sê 50 rand, dan gaan ek aan. 50. Almal bulkalvers. R50 to the gun to get 50. At R50 to the gun to get number 50. 50 bid now. At 50 number to go. What about 48? Donkey but the gun to get 48 but yeah. Ammo bulk colors on the gun to get 25. 48, 25, 48, 50, 75. At 49, 49 bid now get 49. At 49 but the gun to get number 49 is the bid. At get 49 on now. At 49 at 9 at the gun to get number to get 49 bid. Number to get 49 but yeah. At 49 on the gun to get number to get 49 at 9 at the bid number to get 49 op die mooi bulk colors hierso. 49 the bid. At 49 rand the number get 49. Op 49 rand meneer almal klaar by die bid number get 49 at 9 the get 49 once. 49 twice. All out and all done. 49. Okay, die baas sê ons kort bietjie, ons sit hulle STC. Koper is vloerkoper is nommer 2. Ons gaan oor na lot nommer 8 toe. Lot nommer 8 dames en here. Lot nommer 8 kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Dames en here, ons is nou weer in Stella omgewing. Hierdie kalvers dames en here baie goeie kwaliteit. Hierdie kalvers gaan gelewer word by die Stella veilingskraal. So jou weegpunt is Stella en jy kom haal hulle by die veilingskraal opstelle dames en here. Baie goeie kwaliteit kalvers, 46 bil kalvers, 42 vers kalvers en is 'n lekker ligte pakkie. Hulle weeg 230 Bonsmara en Simmentaler kruiskalvers dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Hulle is geënt teen back and close here in Mei maand dames en here en daar's al jou entings teen al die heersende siektes dames en here. Hulle is reg om te gaan dames en here. Mooi kwaliteit pakkie. En sien ek op hulle name to go. 50 to start. 49. At 49 the bid name to get 49. At 49 the bid ladies and gentlemen name to get 49 het ek nou. Ek het 49 ander get name to 49 bid. At 49 I'm to get 25 49 25 bid name to get 49 at 50 50 number to 49 at 50 now. At 49 at 50 bid name to get number to 49 50 at 75 at 49 at 75 bid name to get 49 75 bid name to get number to 49.75 at 49.75 bid again I got 49 at 75 now at 50 now I got 5 on now at 50 the bid at 50 at again I got 5 at 50 bid now I got 5 on the again bid now I got 50 now I got 5 on now at 50 the bid ladies and gentlemen we all out and done yeah at 5 on the again I got 50 now I got 5 on now at 50 now I got 25 50 25 50 25 yeah I got 5 on the 25 cent again I got 50 50 at 5 on 50 at 50-50, at 50 rand en 50 cent, again number 50 at 75, 50, 75, 50 bid number again 75, at 50, 75, 51, 51 the bid again number 51, at 51 rand again the bid number at 51, at 1 the bid number again at 51, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done? Yeah, at 51 we're gonna sell number at 25, 51, 25, at 51 at 25, at 5 the bid number at 50 number 51, 50 number again number 51, 50, at 51, 50 bid number again at 51, 50. At 51, 50 bid now I got 75, 51, 75. At 51 at 75, I got 51 at 75 now. At 51, 75 bid now I got 51 at 75. Do I see 52? At 51.75 again I got 51 at 75 now. At 51.75 ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done here? At 51.75 dames en here, julle almal klaar at 51.75 we go 52 52. At 52 the bid now I got 52 at 2 bid now I got 52 at 52 I got 52 2 bid again I got 2 bid again I got 52 52 at 52 dames en here, julle almal klaar nou. At 52 rand we go, fair warning once, 52 twice, 'n derde en 'n laaste maal. Sold them at 52 by Dankie Dirk. We sell them for 52. Koper is 5017. Lot nommer 9. Lot nommer 9 dames en here. Ons is nou hierso in Swizer omgewing en ons gaan laai op die plaas dankbaar en die naaste weegbrug is dan die Grommondjie fabriek in Swizer, dis so 12-15 km uit die dorp uit na die plaas toe en hierdie pakkie is 50 skoon Bonsmara bulkalvers dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Hulle is geënt teen back and closure en die heersende siektes as ook knopvel dames en here. Jou gewig is 280, so die glyskaal skop in vanaf 290. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle dames en here. Baie mooi kwaliteit. Start my almal ossies op R50. 50 to go. I get 50. The bid's 50. And I got 50 bid now. At 50 bid now, but I got 25. 50, 25. At 50, 25, but I got now, but I got 50, 50 donkey, but I got 50, 50. At 50, 50 now, but I go. At 50, 50, at taking under, I got 50, 50, but yeah. At 50, 75, 51, 51, but now, but I got 51. At yen and fight around, I got now, but I got 51. At 1, but now, but I got 51, 51 now. At yen and fight around, I got but now, but I got 51 on the floor. At 51, at taking under, I got yen and fight around, I got now, but I got 51, 51 bid. At yen and fight around, I got now, but I got 51. At 1, the bid now, but I got 51 now. Heck it, yen fight around the bit now, but I got 51 at 25, 51, 25. At 51, 25 bid. At yen fight I got 50, 51, 50. At 51, 50 bid. Now, but I got 51 at 50. Now, but I go. At yen fight 5 and 7, 51, 75. 51, 75. Seen I got 51, 75. Asking 52. At 51 at 75 now. At 51 at 75. But now, but I got 51, 75 bid. Now, but I got 51 at 75, 52. 2, but I got 2 now. At 2 and fight around, but now, but I got 52, 52 the bid. At 2 and fight around, but I got 2, but now, but I got 52, 52, but now 52 at 2 and fight around the money but now I got 52 asking 25 at 2 and fight around I got 52 but now I got 2 and fight around at 52 25 52 25 but now I got 52 50 at 52 50 but now I got 52 50 at 2 and fight and I got 52 50 at 52 50 but yeah. The bid's 52, 50 now, 75. At 52, 75 bid. At 52, at 75. Hammer number got 52, 75, 52, 75. Sinek 3 and 5 da. At 52, 75, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done? Yeah. At 52, 75. Sinek 3 and 5 da. At 52, at 75. 52 at 75. Asking 53. At 52, at 75. Hammer number got 52, 75. Fair warning. At 52, 75. Amatla once and twice. 52, 75, 53. 53 in beseringstyd. At 53. Op 3 en 5 da. At 53 by I got 3 and 5 da. At 53 the bid. Namer I got 53. 53 bid. Namer I got 53. Op 3 en 5 da. Namer I got 53. 53, 53, 25. At 53 and a quarter the bid. 53, 25. 53.25 asking 53.50. At Sinek 53.50 we say yeah. The bid's 53.25. At 52.25, 53.25 meneer Sila Matlano. At 53.25 fair warning dames here Sila Matlano. 53.25 last the cancer once, twice. 50, 53.50. Ek het 53, 50, 53, 50, het 53, 50 nou, het about 53, 50, het 53, 50, but now I got 53, 50, het 53, 50, but yeah, het 53, 50, het 53, 50, but yeah, when I got 53, 75, 53, 75, now we're asking 54, het 53, 5 and 7 around the money, but now I got 53 at 75, het 53, 5 and 7 het 53, 75, sien ek 54, het 53 at 75, maar I got 53 at 75, 53, 75, asking 54, last the cancer no, once, 54 the bid. Ek het 54, asking 25. 54 the bid, now I got 54. 54. At 54 the bid, now I got 54. 54 bid, now I got 54. At 54 but the bid, now I got 54. At 4 bid, now I got 54. At 54 around the money, I'm at number 54. We're gonna go now. At 54 25, 54 25. How would now I got 54 25. At 54 25, how would now I got 54 25. At 54 25, but now I got 54 25. How would I got 54 25. At 54.25, asking 54.50. At 54.25, but now I got 54.25. At 54.25, but I got 54.25. How about I got 54.25? I lost the Kanzi, so 54.25. Once at 54.25, twice at 54.25. All done, no more. And sold at 54.25. Wat sê my baas? Dankie. $5013. Right, lot number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 10. Lot number 10, dames en here, kyk 'n bietjie mooi hierso. Ek bring vir julle 50 bulkalvers van die heel beste hier uit die Vryburg omgewing, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Hulle weeg 275 kg, so die glyskaal skop in vanaf 285. Hierdie kalvers word geweeg by die Vryburg silo en gelewer by Karoo se houkraal. So jy as koper gaan hom oplaai by die Karoo se houkraal in Vryburg. Kyk net mooi hierso dames en here, top ons Marabel kalvers. Jy sal nie fout maak op hulle nie, ladies and gentlemen. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi, klaar geënt teen back and close hier dames en here. Van die heel bestes, just bull calves, we start them at 50. 50. Yes. The bid's 50. And I got 50 here. At 50 bid now, but I got 50 now, but if I turn now. At 50 bid now, but I got 25. 50, 25, 50, 50 now, but I got 50, 50, but yeah, but I got 75. 50, 75. At 50, 75, but I got 51 on the floor. At 51 the bid now, but I got 51. Yeah, but I got 25. 51, 50, number 51, 50. At 51, 50, but yeah. And I got 51, 50 bid now, but I got 51, 75, 52, 52. Donkey, but I got 52. At 2 and fight now, and I got 52 bid. At 2 and fight the under, I got 2, but I got 52. 2 and fight now. At 52 the bid, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, but now I got 52 here. At 2 and 5 daar ander gaan. At 52 the bid now. At 2 and 5 daar ander gaan. I got 2 but now I got number 52 dames en here. At 52 van die heel bestes. Julle moenie foute maak hier so nee, but I got 25. 52 25. At 52 at 25. However binder ek number I got 52 at 25 now. At 52 25. However ek number I got 52 at 25 now. 52 25. At 52 25 asking 52 50. At 52 25 meneer Amatla but I got 52 at 25 now. At 52 at 25 but number I got 52 at 25 asking 50-50. At 52-25 the bid. What about the number of American at 52-25? At 2 and 5 random number 52-25. At 52 but the number 25 we're gonna go yeah. At 52-25 minutes now. At 2 and 5 we're gonna go. At 52-25 and the 52-25 fair warning yeah. At 52-50. At 52-50 but yeah. At 52-50 number 2 and 5 at 52-50 but yeah but 52-50 at 2 and 5 but number 52-50 yeah. At 52-50 what about 75 at 52-75 at the gaan sien ek nou 3 en 5 at 52-75 wat number 52 at 75 at 2 en 5 75 number 52-75 sien ek 3 en 5 Martin so as jy nou at 52 at 75 wat number 52-75 the bid's 52-75 now it's 53 Nieuwe man nou. En I got 53 op 53 and the bid's 53 at 53 aan die kant I got 53 at 53 ladies and gentlemen asking 25 at 53 bid number I got 53 at 3 bid number I got number 53 ladies and gentlemen are we all out and done yeah at 25 53 25 bid number I got 53 25 at 3 and 25 number 53 25 asking 53 50 at the bid's 53 50 now and 53 50 bid yeah ek het 53 50 and I got 53 50 what about 75 at 53 50 die kan at 53 50 50 now I got 53 50 my bot is 53 50 fair warning here 53 50 now 75 do I see 54 sien ek 54 ek het 53 75 at 53 75 at 53 75 bid number 53 75 I'm asking 54 ladies and gentlemen at 54 to go the bid's 53 75 dis almal bil colors meneer julle moenie foute maak op hulle nie het sien ek 54 the bid's gonna go yeah dis klaar geënt die colors dames en here at 53 75 fair warning once here at 53 75 meneer laaste kans op 54 as julle wil we go fair warning twice third and last time at 53.75 and sold at 53.75 by Donkey 5013 Oom Wiekes sit dit gou my mic af All right, we go to lot number 11. Lot number 11, ladies and gentlemen. Lot number 11. Dames en here, ons is weer in die Schweizer omgewing en kyk net hierso, kyk net wat het ons vir julle hierso. Lot number 11 van die heel bestes. Schweizer omgewing, dames en here, jou weegpunt is of jou laaipunt is die plaas Nirvana en die weegpunt is by die grondboontjie fabriek, dis so 3 kilos uit die dorp uit na die plaas toe, dames en here. Baie gerieflike laaipunt en kyk net mooi na hulle. Dis 100 van die heel bestes, 60 bulkalvers, 40 verskalvers, dames en here. Hulle weeg 290. En daar sien julle, dis geel goud Charolais kruiskalvers, dames en here. En jou gleiskalf gaan vanaf 300 inskop, dames en here. Daar's hulle Clostrivax B+ gespuit, Raspberry Wax Multimin en dames en here, hulle is reg om te gaan. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Start my R50 op hierdie mooi kalvers. Sien ek 50, dan gaan ek aan. 50 to go. At 50 now, but it now. At 50 to go, but I got fight around the gun, I got 50. 50 to go. At fight around the gun, number 50, 50 now, but I got fight around the gun, fight. At 58, the gun, I got 50, ladies and gentlemen, but now I got 50 to go. At Chanagan, I got 50 now, but we say fight around the Hanakan, start up 48 donkey. At 48, but now I got 25, but I got 48, 50 now, but I got number 48, 50, but now I got 48, 50 now, to go. At 48, 58, take over number, but now. At 48, 50, the gun, number 48, 50. At 48, at 50, but now, but I got number 48, 50, what do we do? Yeah. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, I got 48, 50, but now I got 48, 50. At 48, 75, 48, 75, I got 49. I got 49, I got number 49, 49, the bed, now I got number 49. At 49, at 9, I got number 49's on the floor here. At 49, ladies and gentlemen, I got 25, 49, 25. At 49, at 25, at 5, I got number, I got 49, 25. At 49, 25, but now I got 49, 50, number to go. I got 49, fight around the number 49, 50 bid now. At 49, 50, 50 now, but I got number 49, 50. At 49, at 50 bid, yeah, but I got number 49, 50, asking 75. The bid's 49, 50. Asking 75. At 49.50 bid now, but I got number 49.50. At 49.50. At 49.50 we gotta go 75. Yeah. At 49 at 50 bid now, but I got number 49.50 nominator. At 49.50 kyk 'n bietjie mooi so. At 49.50 now, but I got number 49.50 beter gaan julle nie kry nie, number 49.50. At 49.50 ladies and gentlemen, up 49.50 we gonna go. Yeah. At 49.50 50 number but now, but I got 49.75 49.75. Ek het 49.75 aan, but I got number 49.50 number 50. I get 50 on now. At 50 the bid. At 50 rand, I got 50. At 50 bid now, but I got 50 25, 50 25. Yeah. At 50 25, but now, but 50 50. At 50 50 75 50 75 bid. At 50 75, but I got number 50 75. The bid's 50.75. At 50.75, asking 51. At 50.75, but I got number 50.75, 50.75, but now. At 50 rand 75 cent, meneer Amatla, but I got number 50.75 now. At 50 rand and 75 cent, meneer Amatla, but now, but I got 50 at 75, 51, and I got 51. I get 51 at 51 the bid now, but I got 51, 51, 25 to go. We say yeah. At 51 at 1, I got number 51, 51 bid number I got 51. At 50 rand, I got number 51. 25, 51, 25. The bid's 51.25. At 51.25, I'm asking 51.50. At 51.25, I got number 51.50. I got 51.50, and about 51.50. At 51.50, bid number, I got number 51.50, bid I got number 51.50. At 51 at 50, bid I got number 51.50. At 51.50, bid number, I got number 51.50, 50 number, I got 51.50, 75, 51.75. At 51.5 and 7. At 51 at 75, 51 at 75, I got number, I got 51 at 75. Number 51.75. At 51.75, ladies and gentlemen, we all are and done, yeah. At 51.75, I'm asking 52. At 51 at 75, number get 51 at 75, 51.75, 51.75. At 51.75, 52. Now the bid's 52. At 52 rand now. At 52 the bid. At 52 rand, I got number 52, 52 bid, number I got number 52. At 52, at 52 bid, number I got 52 at 2, but number 52. 52 rand now. At 52, ladies and gentlemen, we all are and done here. Up 52 rand, at 52, ladies and gentlemen, I got number 52, 52, number I got 25, 52, 25. At 52 at 25, I got number 52, 25. At 52 at 25, I got number I got 52. 25, I'm asking 52.50. The bid's 52.25. At 52.25, fair warning now, 52.25 once, 52.25 twice, third and last time. At 52.25. By Dankie, baas sê dis reg, en ons verkoop hulle 5021. Dames en here, lot nummer 12. Lot nommer 12, kyk 'n bietjie hierso. Weer Charolais kruiskalvers, Simmentaler en Simbra kalvers ook daarso deur, dames en here, goeie kalvers. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Hierdie kalvers word gelaai by die plaas Rietpan, Mugdol, en hulle word geweeg by die Mugdol silo. Dis 100 kalvers, helfte, 50 bulkalvers, 50 verskalvers, 295 kg, en so jy gelyskalskop in vanaf 305. Hulle is geënt teen back and close hier in my maand, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Moenie foute maak nie, ladies and gentlemen. Van die bestes in die bedryf. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi. Ek dink regtig ons kliënte het vir ons baie mooi kalvers aangebied hierdie maand, dames en here. Kyk net mooi na hulle. Sien ek R50 op hulle om te gaan. 50 to go. I'll start them 48. Ek het R48, ek het 25, 48, 25, 48, 50 to go. At 48, at 50, 50 now, but I got 48, 50. At 48, at 50, but now, but I got 48, 50. At 48, 75, 49 now. Ek het 49 rand. At 49 the bid. At 49's on the floor. At 49, 25, 49, 25. But I got 49 at 25 now. 49, 50. At 49, 50 bid now, but I got 75. 49, 75. But now, but if I rand wie sê ja. At 49 at 75. But now, but I got 49, 75. 49, 75. At 49 at 75, but I got 49, 75. Kyk net hierso. At 49 at 75, ladies and gentlemen, but now, but I got 49, 75. Sien ek R50 nou. At 49 at 75, but now, but I got number 49, 75. But I got number 49, 75. The bid's 49, 75. Op van die bestes vir die dag, dames en here. 49.75. Nou het ek 50. En dan bid 50. At R50, I got number 50. Number 50. 50, 50, number 50 rand hierdie gaan. At 50 the bid, ladies and gentlemen, op R50 hierdie gaan. At 50 het ek hierdie gaan, but I got 50. At 50 the bid, number I got R50 nou. The bid's 50. At R50, I got 50, ladies and gentlemen. I'm asking 25 to go. At R50, I got 50, ladies and gentlemen. Op R50, I got 50, ladies and gentlemen. Is julle almal klaar? Op R50, I got 50 op die kop. At 50, I got 25, 50, 25. At 50, 25, I got number 50, 25. R50.25 nou. At 50, 25, I got number 50, 25, 50, 25. At 50, 25, the bid number, I got R50.25 nou. At 50, 25, ladies and gentlemen, I got 50, 50 as julle wil. At 50, 25, I got number 50, 50. The bid's 50, 50. Now I'm asking 75. At R50.50. At 50, 50, ladies and gentlemen, 50, 50. The bid's 50, 50. What about 75? At 50, 50, the bid now, but I got number of R50, I got number of R50 now. At 50, 50, sien ek aan die man, I got 50. At 50 rand and 50 cents, ladies and gentlemen. Op 50, 50, we gonna go. At R50.50, man, I got 50, laaste kans hierso. Op R50.50, meneer Amatla, but I got 50, 50, we go once now. At R50.05, I got 75, 50, 75. At 50, 75, I got number 50, 75, 50, 75. At R50.75, I got number 50, 75, 50, 75, asking 51. At 50 at 75, I got number, I got 75, 75, I got number 50, 75. At 50 rand and 75 cents. 50, 75. At 50, 75, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking 51. Now the bid's 51. 51 het ek nou. 51's the bid. At 51, I got the bid number 51. 51 I'm bid. At 51, ladies and gentlemen, the bid number I got 51. Asking 25. At 51, at 1, I got number 51. 51, 51, bid number 51. At 51, I'm asking 25. We're gonna go now. At 51, ladies and gentlemen, up 51 rand. I got 51. Fair warning. At 51, ladies and gentlemen, up 51 rand. We go once. 51 twice. 25. 51, 25. 51, 25. 51, 25, yeah. At 51 at 25, 51 at 25, 25 bid. At 51 at 25, at 5, I got number 51 at 25, at 51 at 25, Cynic 51, 50. At 51 at 25, ladies and gentlemen, the bid's 51, 25. At 51 at 25, at 5, I got number 51, 25, 51, 50 to go. At 51 at 25, at 5, I got number 51, 50. Are we going to go? Yeah. At 51, 50, we go. Fair warning, ladies and gentlemen. At 51, 25, asking 51, 50. At 51.25 we go, 51.50 to go, as julle wil, once, 51.25 twice, third and last time, and knock them down for 51.25. Baie dankie, 5021. Lot nummer 13, dames en here, lot nummer 13, ons bring vir julle kalvers uit Hartbeesfontein omgewing, dames en here. Hartbeesfontein kalvers 65 in hierdie pakkie. Daar's 53 bulkalvers en net 12 verskalvers. Hulle weeg 240 kg en so jou glyskaal gaan inskop dan van 250. Mooi by ons Mara kalvers. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, dames en here. Wie sê op hulle baie min versies in die pakkie? Kyk 'n bietjie mooi, ladies and gentlemen, who says now to go. Lot number 13. Start me on them, ladies and gentlemen. Wie sê op hulle R50 gaan ek aan, 50 to go. Ek het R48, dan ben ek het 48. 48 te bed, nou ben ek het 25. 48, 25 het ek op die vloer. At 48 at 25, 48 at 25, 48, 50. At 48, 50 bed, nou ben ek het 48, 50 bed, nou ben ek 48, 50. At 48 at 50, 50, nou ben ek 48, 50 bed, ja. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, ek het 48, 50, nou ben ek ja. Ek het 48, 75, 48, 75. At 48, 75 bed, nou ben ek het 49. 49 het ek op die vloer nou. At 49 bed, nou ben ek 49. At 49 bed, number 49, ladies and gentlemen. At 49, number 49, 25, 49, 25. At 49, 25, number 49, 25, ladies and gentlemen. At 49 at 25, 49, 25. What about 50 to go? At 49 at 25 is open. Number 49, 25 is online here. At 49, 25, ladies and gentlemen. Number 49, 25. At 49, 25, number 49, 25. At 49, 25, 50, 49, 50. 49.75. At 49.75 het ek nou. At 49.75 number 49 at 75. 49.75. At 49.75 number at 49.75. 49.75. At 49.75, ladies and gentlemen, I got 50 bid. At 50 now, but I got 50 now, but I got 50 now, but I go. At 50 I got 50 now, but number 50. At 50 now, but I got 50. At 50 I'm bid, 50 I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, I got 50 now. At 50 rand and I got 50, ladies and gentlemen. At 50 rand, at 50 I'm bid 25, 50 25, 50 25 now. At 50 25, but I got number 50 25, 50 25. At 50 25, but number I got 50 25. What about 50 50 as you well? At 50 rand and 25 cent, meneer is al klaar, but number I got 50 25. We're going to go 50 50. At 50 rand and 25 cents. 50 25 we go, ladies and gentlemen. 50 50. 50 rand and 50 cent now. At 50 50, come along at 75. At 50 50, what about 75, ladies and gentlemen? At 50 50, come back at 75 now. At 50 50, come back at 75 now. We say, but number 50 number 50 50, come along and 50 50. It's in 5 and 7. At 57, again, 50 50. What do we do now? Number 50 50, come along, number 50 50. We go once. 50 50, ladies and gentlemen, 75, 50 75, 50 75 now. I got 5 rand and 5 and 7 cent, number 50 75, yeah. At 50 75, but number I got 50 75, but number I got 51 to go. I get yen and 5 rand now. At 51 the bed, number I get yen and 5 at 51 the bed, yeah. At yen and 5 rand, number 51 bed, number yen and 5 rand, number 51 25. At 51 at 25, but number 51 at 25 now. At yen and 5 I'm going to get 25, 51, 25, but number I got 51 at 25, ladies and gentlemen. At 51, 25 we go now. At 51, 50 number I get 51, 50. At yen and 5 number 51, 50 number 51, 75, 51, 75, but number 51 at 75 asking 52. At 51, 75, ladies and gentlemen, 52. The bid's 52 now. Ek het 52 en dan bid 52. At 52 rand nou. At 52 the bid 25, 52 25. At 52 25 the bid number 52 25. How going to number 52 50. At 52 25 asking 50. At 52 25 sien ek 50. At 52 but again ek 50 52 50. At 52 50 het ek nou. At 52 50 bid ja. At 52 50 rand number 52 50. What about 75? 52 50 I'm bid. At 52 50. I'm asking 75 now. 52 50 sien ek 75. Ek het 75 nou. Sien ek 53. 52 75 dames en here. At 52 75 sien ek 53 as julle wil. At 52 75 the bid, ladies and gentlemen, as julle almal klaar op 52 75. 53 nou. Sien ek 25 cent. 53. 53. 53 rand gaan ek aan. 53 op 53 rand namer ek 53 at 53 namer ek 53 rand as jy almal klaar sien ek 25 sent nou op 53 25 as jy wil op van ek 53 53 namer ek 53 asking 25 once 53 meneer as jy almal klaar op 25 to go as jy wil my bot is 53 twice 'n derde en 'n laaste maal 53 rand Baie dankie, 5013. Right, dames en here, ons is nou hier by lot nommer 14. Ons is weer in Vryburg omgewing, dames en here. Hierdie vragkalvers is 105 kalvers, 'n mooi vol vrag. Hulle weeg 310 Simbra en Charolais kalvers, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Top kwaliteit. 55 bulkalvers, 50 verskalvers. Hulle word geweeg in Vryburg en afgelaai by die Karoo houkraal in Vryburg. Kyk hulle bietjie mooi daarso, dames en here. Lot number 14. Lot number 14. Have a good look here, ladies and gentlemen. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi. Hulle is geënt teen back and close, sterk swaar kalvers. Start my op hulle. Sien ek R50 op hulle. 50 to go. I'll start them at 48. 48, I'm going to get 48, dankie. At 48, a bit number, I'm going to get 25 to go, but I'm going to get 48 at 25, a bit number to go. At 48, I'm going to get 25, 48, 25. At 48 at 25, a bit number, I'm going to get number, we say 48, 25, 48, 25, as you level. At 48, I'm going to get number 48, I'm asking 50. At 48, 25, I'm going to get number, I got 48, 50. At 48.50, at 48.50, at 48, I got 50, number, I got 48, 50, number, but now, at 48, at 50, ladies and gentlemen, I got number 48.50, at 48, 500, I got 48, at 50, ladies and gentlemen, at 48.50, kyk 'n bietjie mooi so, at 48.50, met number, I got 48.50's, but the sterk swaar kalvers so, at 48, number, I got 50, number, but now, at 48.50, ladies and gentlemen, I got number 48.50, number, but yeah, op 48, 500, I got number 48.50, number, I got 48.50. At 48.50, ladies and gentlemen, number, I got 48.50, asking 75. At 48, I got 50 meneer, hy is van die bestes van die dag, dames en here, julle moenie foute maak hier so nie. At 48.50, number, I got 48 at 50, ladies and gentlemen. At 48.50, number, I got 48.50, I got number 48.50. Op 48, 500, I got number 48.50, ladies and gentlemen. At 48.50, are we sure? At 48.50, I'm gonna go, yeah. At 48.50, dames en here, kyk 'n bietjie julle besigheid nou, 75. At 48.75, at 48 at 75 bid, at 48 at 75, we're going to get number, I got 48.75, asking 49, at 48.75, we're going to get number, 48 at 75 the bid. At 48.75, yeah. At 48 at 75, we're going to get number, I got 48.75. At 48.75, however, but number, I got number, I got 48.75, however, but number, I got 48.75, asking 49. Up 48 at 75, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done here? At 48.75, near Jala Matla, but I got number 48.75, 48.75. Up 48.75, around the number, I got 48.75, ladies and gentlemen. At 48.75, we're going to go, yeah. At 48.75, fair warning. 48.75, dames en here, once, 49. 49. Ek het 49. At 49 the bid, yeah. Op 49 aan 300 number 49. 49 het ek die number 49. 49 aan nou. At 49 het ek die number 49. At 49, ladies and gentlemen. At 49 the bid number 49 aan 300 bid number 49. 49 die number 49. What about 25 to go? Op 49 aan het ek die number bid number 49. 49 at 49, ladies and gentlemen. Are we all out and done at 49? We're going to go now. Op 49 aan 300 number 49. We go once now. At 49, Lamas Yelamatla, 49.25, 49.25. At 49.25, but number I got 25.25, but number I got 49.25. At 49.25, at Father number I got 49.25, Sinek 49.50. At 49.25, I'm going to get number 49.25, and Sakwakhio. At 49.25, I'm going to get number 49.25, ladies and gentlemen. At 49.25, we go once now. At 49.25, we go twice. Fair warning, all out and all done. At 49.25, donkey. 5021. Right, dames en here, lot nummer 15. Lot nummer 15, ons is weer in die Piet Plessis omgewing, dames en here. Hierdie kalvers word geweeg en gelaai by Piet Plessis veilingskraal, dames en here. Waar is David? Bevestig net vir my of word hierdie kalvers nie gelewer by Stella nie. Hoor gou. Daar op die foon na buite. Ek word so gedink. Right. Dames en here, hierdie kalvers, soos al die Piet Plessis kalvers, word geweeg op Piet Plessis, maar hulle word gelewer by Stella. So jy laai hulle op by Stella. Right, dames en here, kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Daar's 15 van hulle, helfte, dames en here, mooi boveldere kalvers. Hulle is geënt teen back and closure. Die gewig op hulle is 250 kg. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi, dames en here. What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Wie sê op hulle, start me now to go? Asking 50. Start me op hulle 50. The bid's 48. Op 48 rand druk en number 48, the bid number 48, dankie. Ek het 48 rand druk 25, 48, 25, the bid druk number 48, 25. At 48 at 25, the bid number 48, 25, 48, 25. At 48 at 25, at 5 druk number 49, druk number 48, 25, sien ek 48, 50. At 48 at 25, at 5 druk number 48, 25. At 48, 25, ladies and gentlemen, druk 48, 25, 48, 50. 48, 50 now 75. At 48 at 75, druk number 48, 75. At 48.75, Harvard bid number again 48.75. At 48 at 75, Harvard bid number at 49. 49 it gone. At 49 at 49 number 49.25. 49.25. At 49 at 25 at Harvard bid number at 49 at 25 at Harvard number 49.25. At 49.25, Harvard bid number at 49.25. 49.25. At 49.25, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done here? At 49 at 25, as Yalamat Labra 49.50. 49 at 49.75. 49.75 het ek getting aan. At 49 at 75 het binne die number at 49.75. 49.75 at 50 rand die ander at 50. Number 50. At 50 het ek getting ander at 50 rand nou. At 50 het ek getting ander at 50. Number 50. At 50 rand as jy al mat klaar ander at 50. At 50 the bid number 50 rand nou. At 50 I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, as jy al mat klaar op 50 rand meneer. At 50 I'm bid, we're gonna go number ander at 50 rand die ander bid number 50. At 50, ladies and gentlemen, 25. At 50, 25, 50, 25, 50, 25. Bij nummer 50 rand en 25 centen. Wie zei 50, 50. At 50, 25, we hebben er 50, 25, maar er 50, 50. At 50 rand en 50 centen. Die gaan er 50, 50. At 50 rands and 50 cents, ladies and gentlemen, we hebben er nummer 50, 50. At 50, 50, nummer er 50, 50 rand. Meneer, als je allemaal klaar. At 50 rand en 50 centen. We hebben er 50, 75, 50, 75. At 50, 75, weet ik nou, we hebben er 50, 75. 50, 75. At 50 rand en 75 centen, meneer Amatla, but I got 50, 75, 51. 51 the bid. Ek het 51 en ek het 51. At 51 het bid nummer, ek het 51. 51 het ek nou. At 51 rand, meneer Amatla, but I bid nummer 51. 51. At 51 we're gonna go, ladies and gentlemen. Op 51 rand nou. At 51 as jy Amatla op 51 rand, meneer de laaste kans nou. Op 51 we're gonna go once. 51 to 25, 51, 25, at 51 at 25, at 51 at 25, at 5 at 51, 25, at 51 at 25, 51, 25, at a bit number at 51, 25, at 51, 25, at a bit number to go, ek het 51, 50 as julle wil, at 51, 25, at a bit number 51, 50, at 51, 50, at 51, 50, number again 51, 50, at 51, 50, ladies and gentlemen, number 51, 50, at 51, 50, number at 51, 50, at 51, 75, 51, 75, at 51 at 75, 51, 75, asking 52, at 51 at 75, ladies and gentlemen, asking, but again, number 51, 75, what about 52 to go? At 51, number I got 2, number I got 2, number I got 52, at 52, round, they're getting under the bid, number I got 52, ladies and gentlemen, the bid's 52 now, I'm asking 25, at 25, number I got 2, but again, number 52, 25, 52, the bid, ladies and gentlemen, of 25, round, they're under the number I got 25, 52, 25. The bid's 52 and a quarter, and I got 52.25 at 52, but again, I got number, I got 25, 52, 25, I would have been a number 52, 25 at 25, 5 and 20, I got number 52, 25 at 52, 50, I'm going to get 52, 50 at 52, 50, donkey on Vickers at 52, 50, number, I got 25, 50 at 52, 50, number, but number, I got 52, 50 at 25, 50 now at 52, 50 at getting under, I got 75, 52, 75, 52, but number, I got 75 at 25, 5 and 7. Number I got 52, 75, 53 to go. At 52, 5 and 7, number I got 52 at 75, I've been number 53, 53 now, and about 53, I get 53 so at 53, ladies and gentlemen, about number 53, number I got 53, but number I got 53, asking 25 to go. At 53 rand, I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, up 53, I got number 53, 53 bid, number I got 53, 53, we're gonna go once. 53, we're gonna go twice. Third and last time at 53, and we knock them down to buy a 5013. Baie dankie. David. Ja, doe maar, hy nie sal. Doe maar, hy nie is reg. Dankie Dave. Volgende pakkie. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you lot number 16. Lot number 16, dames en here, kyk 'n bietjie mooi hierso. Lot nummer 16 is weer Vryburg omgewing kalvers daarso, dames en here. Hierdie kalvers gaan geweeg word op Vryburg en hulle gaan gelewer word by Karoo se houkraal in Vryburg. Hulle is presies helfte. 44 van hulle, dames en here, 22 bulkalvers, 22 verskalvers, 285 kg, 285. So glyskalfskop in vanaf 295. Klaargespeende kalvers, hulle is geënt teen back and closure, dames en here, en kyk net 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, dames en here. Brahman, Simmentaler, Shirley, kalvers, dames en here, jy gaan nie verkeerd gaan met hulle nie, van die bestes, en kyk 'n bietjie mooi. Start my op 50, 50 to go. The bid's 48, they're getting under, I got 48, 25, 48, 50. At 48, 50 bid number, under, I got 48, but I got 50, 50, number to 48, 50, what about now? At 48, at 50, 50, number, I got number to 48, 50, 50, number, I got 48, 50, what about 75? At 48, 75, number to say number to go. 48, 50 is the bid, I'm asking 75. At 48, 50, 50, number, I got 48, 50. At 48, 50 bid number, I got number to 48, 50, what about 75 to go? At 48.50, ladies and gentlemen, ek het 48 feite number to 48.50, 50 bid number to 48.50, number to 75, 48.75. At 48 at 75, however bid number to 48.75. At 48 at 75, however bid number to 48.75. What about 49 to go? Op 48.75 number to 48.75, however number to 48.75. At 48.75, however bid number to 48.75, 48.75. At 48 at 75, ladies and gentlemen, number to 48.75. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi. At 48.75, dames en here, I'm at 48.75, 48.75. At 48.75, I'm asking 49 to go. At 48 at 75, however bid number to 48.75, 48.75. What about 49? At 48.75, ladies and gentlemen, is julle almal klaar? At 48 at 75, however bid number to 48.75. Onthou hulle is klaar geënt, ons laai hulle by Vryburg af. At 48.75, however bid number to 48.75, we're asking 49. At 48.75, is julle almal klaar? At 48.75, we go once. 48.75, we go twice. Derde en 'n laaste maal at 48.75. And we knock them down, 48.75. Die baas sê vir my, hulle is eers nie verkoop nie. Sorry daar aan my koper, dankie. In elk geval, ons sit hulle eers as 'n not sold, hulle is eers nie verkoop nie. Right, dames en here, ons is dan by lot nommer 17. Lot nommer 17, dames en here, baie mooi kalvers in die Sannieshof Ottesdal omgewing. Die laaipunt en die weegpunt is plaas Noodsulp Ottesdal en daar is 'n weegbrug op die plaas, so jy laai en weeg daarso, dames en here. Die geolocation nommer is op datum, as hy nou nog nie daar by julle verskyn nie, hy is op datum. Hierdie pakkie is 2 mooi vol vragte, dames en here, 200 kalvers, 155 bulkalvers en daar's 45 verskalvers. Hulle weeg 255, so met ander woorde glyskaal vanaf 265, Bonsmara kalvers, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, dames en here. Have a good look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Hulle is gespuit vir longetjies en die heersende siektes, sponsmilt en lam, is gespuit, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, ladies and gentlemen. Who says on them, what do we do? Right, ladies and gentlemen, take it away. And who says on them, but I got to say number to go. 50 as julle wil. At 50 to go, but I got 50 on now. At 50, I'll start them 48, donkey. Ek het 48 rand, I got 48, 48 number, I got 25, at 25, I got number 48, 25. At 48 at 25, at 5, I got number, I got 48, 25. At 48 at 25, at 5, bid number, I got 48, 25 now. 48, 50. At 48, 50 bid number, I got 48, 50 bid number, I got 48, I got 50 number 75. 48, 75. At 49, 40. 49 the bid, now I'm going to get 49, number 49, 49 the bid, yeah. Up, I'm going to get 25, 49, 25, I'm going to get 49 at 25 at 25, at 49, 50, at 49, 75, 49, but I'm going to get 75, yeah. At 49 at 75, but now I'm going to get 49, 75 now. At 49, 75, ladies and gentlemen, but now I'm going to get 49, 75, 49, 75, at 49, 50, 50, 50, 25, 50, 25, 50, 25, at 50, 25, at getting under at 50, 50, at 50 rand and 50 cent a minute, at 50, 50, at now 50, 50, at 50 rand and 50 cents, 75, 51, now 25, 51, 25, at 51 at 25, at 50 now, at 51, 50 now, at 51 at 50 now, at 51, 50, bid number 51, 50. At 51, at 50, ladies and gentlemen. At 51, 50, onthou hulle is klaar gespeel hierdie kalvers, dames en here. At 51, 50, now met die receiver, at 51, 50 bid, yeah. At 51, 50, ladies and gentlemen, we all are done. At 51, 50, asking 75. At 51, at 50, now met die number 51, 50, asking 75. Eindelijk wacht vir jou. At 51, so niemand gaan die number 51, 50, now met number 51, 50. At 51, 50, we're going to go, yeah. At 51, 50, ladies and gentlemen, fair warning. At 51, 50, dames en heren, at 51, 50, we go once, 75, 51, 75, 51, 75, at 51 at 75, we're going to get number 51 at 75, 51, 75 now, at 51 at 75, we're going to get number 51, 75, what about the number 51, 75, I'm asking 52, at 51 at 75, meneer Amatla, but number 51 at 75 now, here, at 51, 75, Sinek 52, we're going to get number 51, 75, we go once now. At 51.75, ladies and gentlemen, we go twice, a derde en a laaste maal. And we knock them down and we sell them to buy a 5014. Right, dames en heren, kyk 'n bietjie mooi. Lot nummer 18, lot nummer 18, dames en heren. Have a good look here, ladies and gentlemen. Ek bring vir julle weer eens top Piet Plessis colors. Hierdie colors weeg ons op Piet Plessis en hulle laaipunt is die Karoo houkraal op Vryburg. 25 colors, 17 bil colors, 8 vers colors, hulle weeg 260. Top Simbra colors, dames en here, hulle is geënt teen back and closure. Hulle is 25, maar hulle word afgelaai by die houkraal, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, ladies and gentlemen. Start them to go. And do I see on them, ladies and gentlemen, who says, start them 50, 48 the bid. Ek het 48 rand, ek het 25, 48, 25, 48, 25, en ek het nummer, ek het 48, 50, 48, 50, at 48 at 50, 75, 48, 75, at 48 at 75, ek het 49, 49, 25, 49, maar ek het 25, ek het nummer 49, 25, at 49, 25, ek het nummer, ek het 49 at 25, 49, 25, 50, at 49, 50 bid now, at 49, 50 bid, ek het nummer 49, 50, nummer, ek het 49, 50, at 49, 50, ladies and gentlemen, ek het nummer 49, 50, at 49.50 asking 75, at 49.75, but now we're going to get number 49.75, yeah. At 49.75 I'm asking 50 to go. At 49 at 75 we're going to get number 49.50, number 50 rand to go. At 40 I'm going to get 50 rand, but number 50, 50 I'm bid, 50 I'm bid, what about 25? At 50 I'm bid, we're going to get number, get 50, what about 25? 50 number, we're going to get number 50 rand, I'm going to get number 50, come back at 25. At 50 rand, I'm going to get 50 number, but now 50 I'm bid. At 50 rand, I'm going to get 50, what about number, 50 asking 25, at 50 rand and 25, 50, 25, 50, 25, but not a number 50, I'm going to get 25, at 50, 25, we're going to get number 50, 25, I'm going to get 50, 25, at 50 rand and 25 cent, Sinek 50, 50, the bid's 50, 25, now 50, 50, 50, 50, and a bit 50, 50, at 50 rands and 50 cents, I'm going to get 50, 50, at what about 75 now? At 50, 50, I'm bid here, but a bit now I'm going to get 50, 50, what about 75? At 50, 50, the bid, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done, yeah. At 50 rand and 50 cents, but now I'm going to get 50, 50, come back at 75, 50, 50, come back at 75, now 75, at 50, 75, we're going to get 50, 75, 50, 75 bid. At 50, 75, I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done. 51's the bid now. At 51 rand bid now, I got 51. 51 the bid now, at 51 at 1 bid now, I got number 51. 51 I'm bid, yeah. At 51 rand, I got number 51. What about 25? 51 bid, money going to get 25. At 51 the bid, 25 now. 51.25 asking 51.50, 51.50, asking 75, 51.50, what about 75? At 51.50 bid now, at 51.50 now, but again, 51.50, at 51.50, but again, 51.50, sien ek 75 as julle wil. The bid's 51.50, ladies and gentlemen, now go 75. 51.75, we go fair warning. At 51.75, I'm asking, the bid's 51.50, sorry guys. The bid's 51.50, we're asking 75. I'll go fair warning, now I've got 75. Now we're asking 52. At 51, I'm going to get 75, asking 52. At 51, at 75, 75, we're going to get number 52. No take 52. At 52, the bid number going to get 52. Number bid number get 52. Number bid number get 52. At 52, to bid going to get number got 52. Under going to get number 52. 52, ladies and gentlemen. At 52, on the money, I'm not going to get number got 52. 52, I'm asking 25. The bid's 52. Do I see 25? Fair warning. 52, we go once now. 52, we go twice. Third and last time. Op 52 by Dankie. 5-0, 2-1. Right, dames en here, kyk nou mooi, lot nommer 19. Lot nommer 19 is weer in die Hartbeesfontein area, dames en here. Ons laai hulle op die plaas en dan weeg ons hulle by Hartbeesfontein, dames en here. Dis 70, almal bulkalvers, hulle is droog, Beefmaster kalvers, dames en here, hulle is geënt teen back and close. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi, Junie maand gespeen, droog Beefmaster kalvers, moenie foute maak op hulle nie, net bulkalvers, dames en here. Have a good look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Right, we sê op hulle naam, but yeah. Start me, almal bulkalvers sien ek 50. Ek het 50. At 50, I'm bid. At 50 rand, ek het 50, number 50, number 50 rand. At 50 is the bid, number ek het 50, ek het 50 rand, ek het 50, number 50, sien ek 25. At 50, 25, 50, number 50 rand, 50. At 50, 75, 50, 75 now. Sorry guys, I took 50 on the floor. Now we're on 51 there. 51 online. At 51, 25, 51.25, but number I got 51.50. At 51.50, number I got number 51.50. At 51.50, but now at 51.50, number I got 75, 51.75, 51.75. At 52, 25. At 52.25, 52.25, but now I got 52.50. At 52.75, 53, but number I got 53, 3 on now. At 53, the bird number I got 3 and 5 number I got 53, but number to go. At 3 and 5 number I got 53, 3 but number I got 3 and 5 number I got 53. Up turning number I got 53, 25, 53 but I got 25 now. At 53, 25 but number I got 53 but I got 25, number I got 53 but I got 25. At 53, 25. Ek soek 53, 50. At 53 bid number I got 50. Nou het ek 53, 50 number daar. At 53, 50 bid number I got 53, 50. What about 75, 53, 75 number to go. Ek het 53, 75 ander bid number I got nu as hy 54 number bid. At 53, 75 number I got 53 at 75 now. At 53, 75 ander number I got 53, 75 number I got 54 bid now. At 54 at 4 but number I got 54 ladies and gentlemen. At 54 now. Ek het 54 ander I got 54 bid number I got 54 54 asking 25 at 54 the bid ladies and gentlemen number I got 54 what about 25 Martins ek wou vir jou at 54 but number I got 54 we all out and done that's fair warning here ladies and gentlemen at 54 we're going to go once now 25 at 54 but I got 25 54 but I got 25 at 54 but I got 25 at 5 but I got number I got 54 25 at 54, 25, at 54, but I got 25, but I got number, I got 54, 25 is your beard world. At 54, but I got 25, we all out and done, yeah. At 54, but I got 50, number 54, 50. At 54, but I got 50, number to go. At 54, 50, but number I got 54, 50, 50, but I got number, I got 54, 50, I'm asking 75. At 54, 50, but now, and I got 54, 50, at 54, 50, and I got number 54, 50, at 54, 50, number, I'm not I got number 54, 50, yeah. At 54, 50, number I got 54, 50, ladies and gentlemen. At 54, 50, I got 54, 50 is now fair warning, yeah. At 54, 50 now 75, 54, but I got 75. At 54, 75, sien ek 55. At 54, but I got 75, 54, but number I got 5 and 7 around julle wil. 54, 75. Now I'm asking 55. I'm bid 55. asking 25 cents. And a bit number 55, 25, asking 55, 25, asking 55, 25. The bid's 55, what about 25 to go? At 55, what about number 55, number 5 at 55, we got to go 25 cents more. At 55, we're going to get 5 but number get 55, at 5, we're going to get number get 55. 55, we're going to go once now. At 55, at 5, we're going to get number get 55, ladies and gentlemen. At 5 and 5, we're going to get number get 55, we're going to go twice now. At 55, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done now? At 55 and sold at 55. Baie dankie, my koper is 5013. Right, dames en here, ek bring julle 19A. 19A. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi so, dames en here, Vryburg omgewing. Hierdie kalvers word geweeg op Vryburg, afgelaai by die Karoo houkraal op Vryburg. Daar's 68 in die pakkie, dames en here. Charolais Simbra kalvers, dames en here. 68 in die pakkie, 39 bulkalvers, 29 vers kalvers. Hulle weeg 310, dames en here. Klaar geënt teen back and close. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Right, ladies and gentlemen, kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle dame daar wie sê op hulle, what do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Lot number 19A is hulle nou. Charolais Simbra's top colors meneer. And who says on them now the bid? Take it away, but again number 40, I'm going to get 50 to start. 50 to start, we say yeah. 500 number to get 50, we say 500 but number to get 50. 50 to go. What about 50? At 50 number to get 50, ladies and gentlemen, I'll start them 48. Ek het 48 and about 48. Op 48 number to get 48 a bit now. At 48 the bid, ladies and gentlemen, number got 48, but again 25, 48, but again 25, 48, 25, at 48 to 25, now number 48, 25, kyk net hierdie lekker sterk colors, number 50, 48, 50, at 48 to the bit number got 75, 48, 75, at 48 to 75, but again number got 48, 75, but again number 48, 75, what about 9 to go? At 48, 75, but again number got 48, 75, 5, at 48, 75, 49, 49 the bid, number again got 49, at 49, 25, but again number got 49, 25, 5, at 49, 25, the bid number 49, 50, at 49, 50, 50, but again number 49, 50. At 49, 50, 50, now I got 75. The bid's 49, 75, 50 rand now, 50 bid. I get 5,000, I got 50, now I got 5,000, 50 bid, now I got 5,000, 50 now I got 50, I'm bid, yeah. I get 5,000, I got 25, 50, 25, 50 bid, now I got 25, yeah. At 5,000, 5,000, I got 50, 50, at 5,000, 5,000, but now I got 50, 50 now. At 50, 50, kyk net hierdie kwaliteit, I got 50, 50, what about 75 to go, yeah. At 50, 50, I got 50, 50, come back at 75, at 50 rand and 50 cents. I'm going to say I'm up 50, 50. At 50, 50. Now I'm going to get 50, 50. Now I'm going to get 50 rand and 50 cents. We're going to go, yeah. At 50, I'm going to get 75. Now I'm going to get 50, 75. At 50, 75, we're going to get, now I'm going to get 50, 75, asking 51. At 50, 75, 51 the bid. The bid's 51. I get 51. I'm going to get number 51. I'm going to get 51 at 1 at a bit number to get 51. Come back at 25, 51, 25. At 51 at 25 at 5 at a bit to get number to get 51 at 25, 51, 50. At 51, 50 the bid number to get 51. I'm going to get 75, 51, 75. At 51 at 75 at a bit to get number to get 51, 75. Come back at 2, 52. I get 2 and 5 the under bit number to get 2, but again to get number to 2 and 5. At 52 the bid number to get 2, 2, but again to get number to 52, 2 and 5. Number got 25 at 52 at 25 52 but again got 25 52 25 at 2 and 5 and 1 around the got 52 25 5 at 52 25 ladies and gentlemen are we all out and done yeah at 52 at 25 at 5 again got number got 52 25 52 25 ladies and gentlemen fair warning 52 25 go once 52 25 twice all out and all done 52 25 by donkey. Koper is 5012. Ag sorry, 21. Dames en here, lot nummer 20. Lot nummer 20, dames en here, kyk 'n bietjie mooi. Ons is nou in die Kalahari. Forsters Hoop kalvers, dames en here, wat inkom. Hierdie kalvers word geweeg by die boeres unieskaal by Forsters Hoop. En dan word hulle afgelewer in Vryburg by die Karoo, regstelling. Hulle word geweeg op Forsters Hoop en hulle word afgelewer by die Karoo houkraal op Tosca. By die Karoo houkraal op Tosca, dames en here. So jou weegpunt Forsters Hoop skaal en jou laaipunt gaan wees houkraal op Tosca van Karoo. Hulle is 140 kalvers. Daar is 76 bulkalvers, 64 verskalvers, dames en here. Hulle weeg 255 Bonsmara kruiskalvers, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Bitter mooi kalvers, dames en here. Hierdie kalvers gaan ons mik om nie hierdie week te laai nie, eerder volgende week. Net weens die speen omstandighede, dames en here, so maak net so 'n notaatjie as jy hulle koop, laat ons kyk na volgende week se verlaai. Right, nou dames en here, kyk 'n bietjie mooi. Hier's hulle nou, bitter mooi kalvers, dames en here. Hulle weeg 255 Bonsmara kalvers, dames en here. En is van die bestes uit die Kalahari uit, dames en here, wie sê R50 op hulle. Het hulle wie sê ek sal 48 vandag gaan ek aan. Het 48 te bid, namelijk 48 bid. Het 48 te bid, namelijk 25, 48 bid, namelijk 48 25. At 48.25 het ek nou. At 48.25 at 5 namelijk at 48.25. At 48.25 at 5 namelijk at 48.25 asking 48.50. At 48.25 at namelijk at 48.25 5 namelijk at 48.25 48.25. At 48.25 at 5 namelijk at 48.25 now. At 48.25 ladies and gentlemen namelijk at 48.25 wat namelijk go. Ek het 48.25 but namelijk at 48.25 come back at 48.50. At 48.25 julle mis top colors hierso. At 48.25 ladies and gentlemen but namelijk at 48.25 namelijk 48.25. At 48.25 namelijk at 48.25 ladies and gentlemen we're going to go here. At 48.25 meneer 'n fair warning. At 48.25 50 48.50 ek het daar gevat. At 48.50 at 48.50 now 75 48.75 at 48.75 we can get number 48.75 48.75 at 48.75 namelijk at 48.75 do I see 49 the bids 48.75 sien ek R49 nou at 48.75 en die almal klaar met die number 48.75 we're going to go once here at 48 to the bid number at 75 dames here at 49.49 nou at 49.25 49 but the bid number at 25 49.25 at 49.25 number 49.25 but the bid number at 49.25 is top colors at 49.25 number at 49.25 at 49.25 for you number 49.25 yeah, at 49.25 fair warning ladies and gentlemen at 49.25 we're going to get number at 49.25 we're going to go here 49.25 once now 49.50 75 sien ek 50 49.75 49.75 ladies and gentlemen 49.75 I'm asking 50 once at 49.75 50 nou 50 bid 50 rand 50 bid ja het R50 nou, het R50 at 50, het R50 at 50, sien ek 25 ein, het 50 na maar 50, het 50 ein bid namelijk at R50 nou, het 50 ein bid, ladies and gentlemen, op R50 hierdie kant at 50, we're gonna go 50 once, 50 twice, 'n derde en 'n laaste maal. Op R50 kan ek kry vir die mooi colors. 50 Ek glo dit sal dit hoor wat sê die baas. Is hulle nie verkoop nie. Sorry Fred, hulle is not sold. Right, dames en here, ons sal probeer skakel na die veiling rondom hulle, maar merk hulle eers as nie verkoop. Lot 21 dames en here. Lot 21, ons is weer in die Schweizer omgewing dames en here by plaas Dankbaar. Jou laaipunt gaan op die plaas wees, jou skaalpunt is in Schweizer, dis so 15 kilos buite die dorp na die plaas toe. Charolais colors, 100 van hulle dames en here is van die bestes wat jy gaan kry. 56 bulk colors, 44 vers colors. Hulle weeg 295 dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, klaar geënt teen back and closure en kyk 'n bietjie al die heersende siektes ook geënt. Right, ladies and gentlemen, vir hierdie kwaliteit praat met my, sien ek start ek al op 50, ek start al op 48, 48 to bid, number at 25, at 48, at 50, number 48, at 50, number 75, at 49 to go, but at 49 at the copy fluid, at 49, at 25, 49, 25, 49, but at 25, at 50, number 49, 50, at 49, 50 bid, number at number 49, 50, yeah, at 49, 50 bid, number at number 49, 50, do I see 75? At 49.50 bid, yeah. At 49.50, ladies and gentlemen, number 75, 40 get fight around 300 bid number 50 bid now. At fight around 300 25, 50, 25 at 50 number 50, 50 number 50, 50. At 50, 50 at the getting under 75, 51, 51 bid. At 51 at number 51 at 1 bid number 51, 25, 51, 25. At 51 at 25 at 5 at number 51, 50. At 51, 50, 75. At 52 to go as you will call. At 52 to go. At 51 at 75 the bid number 51 at 75, it is equaliteit, jy kan daai geldjie betaal. At 51 at 75, wat ben ek number at 51 at 75, wat ben ek number at 51 75, I'm asking 52 at 51 at 75, wat ben ek number at 51 at 75, ladies and gentlemen, at 51 75 we're going to go. Number at 51 at 75, wat ben ek number at 52 as jy wil. At 52 het ek nou. At 52 dis liewe bloed hier so. At 52 ben ek at 25, 52 ben ek at 25, 52 ben ek at 25, 52 50. The bid's 52.50 now, 75, asking 53, 52.75, asking 53, at 52, but number got 75, how many number 52.75, yeah, at 52.75, ladies and gentlemen, but number got 52.75 now, at 52.75, how many number 52.75, at 52.75, how many number got 52 at 75, we're going to go once now, at 52 at 75, ladies and gentlemen, 53, 3 and 5 number got 53, ek het 3 got 25, 53 but number got 25, number got 53, 25, 5 now, at 53.25, at 53.25, at 53.50, at 53.50 at now, at 53.50 bidding under at 53.75, at 53.75, at 53.75 we gone, at 53.75 bid, now number 54 as you level. My bot's 53.75, now is it 54.50, 54 the bid, at 54.50, 25, 54.25 at 54, but number got 25 at 5 number got 54, but number got 25 now. At 54, but number got 25, come back at 54.50 at 54, but got 25. We're gonna go once at 54.25 at 54.50 at 54.50, but now at 54, but got 50 number, but number got 54.50. What about 75? Now 75. Do I see 55? 54 at 75, at 54, but again, at 75, at 54 at 75, at 5 and 5 at 55 now, at 5 and 5 on the attack, at 55, at 5 and 5 at 55, at number at 5 and 5 number at 55, at 5 at 55, it fell gewag, at 55, at 55, at 55, the bed, ladies and gentlemen, are we all out and done? Up 5 and 5 rand we go once now, at 55 we go twice, a derde en a laaste maal. At 55 en die basis sê ons skort bietjie. Nee, hulle sê dis wêreldgoed, baie dankie. 5-0, 2-1, 5-0, 2-1. Baie dankie aan ons onderbeers en ons koper. Right, dames en here, lot nommer 22. Lot nommer 22. Hierdie kalvers is in die Vryburg omgewing, dames en here. Hulle is 26, helfte, maar hulle word vir jou afgelaai by die Karoo houkraal. So jou weegpunt is Vryburg. Ons laai hulle af by die houkraal, dames en here. 13 ossies, 13 versies, mooi Charolais Bonsmara kruiskalvers. Hulle weeg 285, dames en here. Have a good look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Hulle is goed geënt. Longetjies is gespuit. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi daarso, dames en here. Start my op hulle mooi kwaliteit en hulle word afgelaai by die houkraal. Sien ek 50. Ek begin hulle ook op 48. 48, dankie. At 48 te bid, op 48 rand nou. At 48 te bid, number got 48 today, number got 48. At 48 te bid, ladies and gentlemen, number got 48. Op 48 rand, number got 48 today, ladies and gentlemen, number got 48 now. Ek het 48 rand, number 48 today, ladies and gentlemen, number got 48 now. At 48 rand het ek hierdie number got 48, ladies and gentlemen, kyk hulle mooi. At 48 today, number got 48, hier kom 'n goeie koop nou. At 48, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done. Number got 48 today. At 48 the bid, number got 25, 48, 25. At 48, 25, 50. At 48, 50 at no. At 48, 50's on the floor. 48, 50's op die vloer. At 48 I got 50 now. At 48, 50 at no. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done. At 48, 50, 50 bid, number got 48, 50. Come back at 75. At 48, 50, number got 48, 50. We go once here. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, number got 75, 48, 75. At 48.75, at 48 at 75, at number I got 48.75, come back, I got 48.75, do I see 49? At 48.75, ladies and gentlemen, we all out and done. At 48.75, we're going to go once here. At 48.75, ladies and gentlemen, we go twice. third and last time. And we sell them at 48.75, 5021. Right, dames en here, lot nummer 23. Lot nummer 23, dames en here, hierdie kalvers ook Vryburg omgewing. Hierdie kalvers gaan geweeg word op Vryburg en afgelaai word by die Karoo houkraal. 37 baie mooi kalvers, dames en here, gemengde kalvers, baie bles kalvers hierso tussenin, dames en here, mooi sim kruiskalvers. 37 van hulle, 22 bil kalvers, 15 vers kalvers. Gewig is 265, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle, bitter mooi kalvers. Hulle is geënt teen back and close here. Right, ladies and gentlemen, kyk hulle bietjie mooi, hier's kwaliteit kalvers, daar moenie foute maak op hulle nie, dames en here. Sien ek hulle daar, dames en here, sê hulle nou to go, yeah. Take it away, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bid on them now to go. 50 to start, the bid's 48. Op 48, maar ek 25, but I'm number 48, 50 number ek 75. At 48.75, do I see 49? At 25, but I'm number 49, at 25, at 20, number 49, 25, at 5, number 49, 25, at 49.50, at 49.50, 50 number 75, at 49.75. Number 49.75, but number to go. Heck, but I get 49.75. 50 rand now. Heck, at 50 rand, number get 50. At 50, I'm bid number to get 50 rand, number 50. At 50 rand, but number to get 50, number to go. 50 rand is all. At 50, I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, number to get 50. 50, I'm bid number, but number to get 50. At 50 rand, I'm a club, but number to get 50, 50 number to go, but number to get 50, I'm bid now. At 50 rand, we're going to go once, ladies and gentlemen. At 50 rand, will be more colors, dames, we say number to go. 50, we're going to go twice here. Fair warning, ladies and gentlemen, 25, 50, 25, at 50, 25 a bit now, at 50, 25, number I got 50, 25, 50, 25, at 50, 25, number I got 50, 25 now, at 50, 25 a bit number I got 50, 25, sien ek number I got 50, 25, at 50 rand en 25 cent, meneer is julle almal klaar, at 50, 25, come back at 50, van my got 50, 25, I got 50, 25, I was, you know, at 50, 25, ladies and gentlemen, we go at 50, 25, what do we do now? 50, 25 once, 50, 25 twice, a derde en a laaste maal. We knock them down, 50, 25, dankie, 5021. Right, dames en here, ons staan einde se kant toe, daar's 4 pakkies oor. Lot nummer 24 is Ventersdorp area, dames en here. Plaas Rodepoort, Ventersdorp, dis jou laaipunt. Die weegpunt gaan die silo's wees op Ventersdorp. 50 in die pakkie, dames en here. Lekker ligte kalfies. Die ossies is bietjie minder, 21 ossies, 29 versies. Maar baie mooi kwaliteit kalvers, dames en here. Hulle weeg 195. Hulle is geënt teen back and close hier, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Right, what do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Wie sê op hierdie mooi ligte pakkie, dames en here, wie sê number to go? Ek start hulle daar so, dames en here, wie sê number to go? 48 te bid. Ek het 48 rand, number to get 48, 48, number to wie sê, maar ek number 48 now. At 48 rand, number to get 48 at 25, 48, 25. At 48 at 25, at 5, number 50, number 75, 48, 75. At 48 at 75, at 49, 49, 25, 49, number 25, at 5, number 49, 50, at 49, 50, at no, at 49, 50 bid, number 49, 50, what about 75? At 49, 50, number 49, at 50, 50, number 49, 50. The bid's 49, 50. I'm asking 75. 49.50 and asking 75, ladies and gentlemen. At 49.50 bid number 49.50 number 49.50. Last the answer no. At 49.50 we're gonna go once here, ladies and gentlemen. At 49.50 50 bid number 49.50 50 number 49.50 we're gonna go twice. At 49.50 third and last time, and we sell them at 49.50 by Donkey 5017. Right, dames en here, lot nummer 25. Lot nummer 25, dames en here. Ons gaan weer in die Vryburg omgewing. Bring vir julle die derde laaste pakkie. Vryburg kalvers, hulle word geweeg op Vryburg en ons laai hulle af by die Karoo houkraal, dames en here. Dis jou laaipunt. 60 van hulle, helfte, 30 bulkalvers, 30 verskalvers. Hulle gaan 270 weeg, dames en here. En Hulle is klaar geënt teen back and close. Klaar geënt teen back and close, dames en here. Mooi Beefmaster colors, dames en here. Moenie foute maak op hulle nie, ladies and gentlemen. Start my op hulle naby go, yeah. And what do we do, dames en here? Is mooi kwaliteit, sien ek 50 op hulle naby go. 50, 48 te bid. Ek het 48 aan ander kant, ek naby 48 at 25, ek naby 48 at 50, 50 naby 48, 50 at 48, 50, 75 at 48 at 75, ek naby 48, 75, 5 now. At 48, 75, asking 49 at 48 at 75. At 48, 75, 5 now. At 48, 75, ladies and gentlemen, 48, 75, come back at 49. At 48, 75, are we all out and done at number at 48, 75, come back at number 48, 75, ladies and gentlemen, 49. At 49 now. At 49, ladies and gentlemen, number at 49, 49 the bid. At 49 number at 49, 25 to go. At 49 the bid, number 49 at 49. What about 25, ladies and gentlemen? At 49 number at 49, we're gonna go. At 49, ladies and gentlemen, number at 49, fair warning, yeah. At 49, at 49, 25, 49, 25. At 49, 25, at 49, at 25, at 5, at 49, 25, 5 now. At 49, 25, but number 49, 25, number 49, 25, number go, at 50, number 49, 50, at 49, 50 bid, at 49, 50 bid, number 49, 50, ladies and gentlemen, at 49, 50, 50 bid, number 49, 50, at 49, at 49, 50, ladies and gentlemen, but number 49, 50, at 49, 75 as level, at 49, 50, ladies and gentlemen. Now 75 at 49, 75 would have been number 49, 75. I'm asking 50 at 49, 75. The bid number at 49, 75, 49, 75 at 49, 75. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking 50 to go. At 49, 75, fair warning, yeah. At 49.75 we go once. Now number 50. Ek het 50 rand nou. At 50 the bid number at 50 number 50 rand number at 50. At 50 rand at 50 ladies and gentlemen we all are and at 50 number but yeah. At 50 I'm bid number at 50 I'm asking 25 to go. At 50 I'm bid number at 50 what about 50 number at 50 at 50 rand at 50 number at 50 come back at 25. 50 now come back at 25. At 50 I'm bid ladies and gentlemen at 25. 50 25 at 50 25 number at 50 rand en 25 cent at 50 25 bid number at 50 25 at 5 number at 50 25 5 yeah at 50 25 ladies and gentlemen are we all out and done yeah at 50 25 fair warning once at 50 25 fair warning twice at 50 and 25 cents now the bid's 50 50 50 50 50 50 the bid at 50 rand at 50 at 50 50 I'm bid at 50 50 I'm bid and number at 50 50 at 50 50 bid number at 50 rand and 50 cent gone at 50 50 come back at 75 at 50 50 bid number at 50 50 at 50 rand and 50 cent gone at 50 50 ladies and gentlemen now I'm asking 75 to go at 50 50 we're gonna go at 50 50 at 50 50 it's fair warning again we go once now at 50 now it's 75 50 75 50 75 do I see 51 at 50 75 at 50 75 ladies and gentlemen at 50 75 at 55 and 7 50 75 come back at at 51 as well at 51 dankie ek het 51 nou at 51 the bid number 51 ander number 51 at 1 bid number at 51 51 number bid number at 51 at 51 ander number at 51 at 1 bid number at 51 51 at 51 rand meneer is almal klaar bid number at 51 51 at 25 now the bids 51 25 the bid's 51.25 sien ek 50 51 50 51.25 the number at 51 at 25 at 5 number at 51 at 25 51.25 at 51.25 ladies and gentlemen at 51.25 7 at 51.50 51.50 at 51.50 but yeah at 51.50 number at 51.50 at 51.50 number at 51.50 number but yeah at 51.50 ladies and gentlemen at 51.50 number 51.50 at 51 at 50 bid number at 51.50 do I see 75 at 51.50 bid yeah at 51.50 number at 51.50 it's fair warning at 51.50 now it's 51.75 at 51.75 at 51.75 at 51.75 now I'm asking 52 sien ek 52 51.75 is the bid at 52 as julle wil 51.75. And a bit number to get 51 at 75. Half a number to get 51 at 75. A bit number to get 51 at 75. 75 now at 51.75. Last the cans he saw at 51 at 75. We're going to go dames here at 51.75. Now I'm going to go 51.75 once. 51.75 twice. 52 is the bid. At 52 rand gaan druk at 52. Nou maar ek het 52. 52. Lyk my ek moet hom die hele tyd roep. At 52, 52. At 52 rand gaan druk at 52. At 52 rand gaan druk at 52. At 52 rand gaan druk at 2, maar ek gaan druk namelijk at 52. At 52 rand gaan druk at 52. Hier so nou ek gee jou nog 'n kans hier so. At 52, come back at 52.25. At 52 we're going to go 52. Is it once now? At 52. Now it's twice at 52. 'n derde en 'n laaste maal. And it's sold at 52. Baie dankie. Dankie aan my onderbeers en my koper daarso. Right, dames en here, die tweede laaste lot vir die dag. Ons is nou in die Dillerywil omgewing, dames en here. Die plaas of die laaipunt gaan die plaas wees, dames en here. Die plaas net buite Dillerywil en jou weegpunt gaan die skaal op die dorp wees, die silo's. Daar's 75 kalvers, dames en here, 45 is bulkalvers, 30 is verskalvers. Hulle weeg 285. Hulle is my maand geënt, dames en here. Hulle is eerder my maand gespeen en hulle is geënt in Junie maand teen back and close, dames en here. Alle heersende siektes ook daarso geënt, dames en here. Kyk 'n bietjie mooi na hulle. Baie mooi kallertjies, dames en here. Wie sê op hulle? Hulle weeg 285, glyskaalskop in vanaf 295, dames en here. Right, nou start my op hulle, dames en here. Wie sê now we go? Yeah. Who says on them, ladies and gentlemen? I'll start at 50. I'll start at 48. 48 rand druk en namelijk at 48. 48 the bid. Op, I'm going to get 25, 48, 25, 48, but I'm going to get 25 at 5, but I'm going to namelijk at 48 at 25. At 48, 25, half of the namelijk at 48 at 25, at 5 bid namelijk at 48, 25. At 48, 25, 50 namelijk 48, 50 bid namelijk at 48, 50. At 48, 50 bid namelijk at 48, 50. What about 75 to go? I get 48, 50, 50 bid namelijk at 48, 50, 50 namelijk at 48, 50. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, at now, but I'm going to namelijk at 48, 50. At 48, 50, 50 bid namelijk at 48, 50. Op 48, 50 dames, hier is julle allemaal klaar, but I'm going to namelijk at 48, 50, 48, 50 bid, yeah. At 48, 50, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go, yeah. At 48, 50 namelijk at 48, 50. At 48, 50, we're going to go, but I'm going to namelijk at 48, 50. At 48, 50 is fair warning, yeah. At 48, 50 dames, hier, but I'm going to at 48, 50, we're going to go once, yeah. At 48, 50 is julle allemaal klaar, dames, hier. At 48, 50 dames, hier, but I'm going to at 48, 50 going twice. At 48.50, now 75. At 48.75, at 48.75, at 48 at 75, yeah. At 48.75, at 48 at 75 now. At 48.75, ladies and gentlemen, a bit now, but at 48.75, 40 at 75. At 48.75, are we all out and done? Yeah. At 48.75, is you're almost cloud on, you're abandoning at 48.75, 48.75. At 48.75, fair warning once at 48.75. Twice at 48.75, all done and knocked down. At 48.75, as ek mag, baie dankie oom. En die koper is 5021. Right, dames en here, die laaste pakkie. Die laaste pakkie, lot nommer 27, is in die Fostershoop omgewing, dames en here. Hierdie kalvers word geweeg op die plaas, daar's 'n geuite skaal, so die plaas, hulle word geweeg op die plaas en hulle word afgelaai by Tosca Houkraal, Karoo se Houkraal op Tosca, so jy gaan haal hulle by Tosca, dames en here, maar jou weegpunt is Fostershoop op die plaas. Right, dames en here, daar's bitter mooi Simmentaler kruiskalvers, dames en here, top, jy kry hulle nie elke dag nie, so pak Simmentalers nie, meneer, moenie foute maak op hulle nie, hulle is helfte, 100 kalvers, 'n mooi vol vrag, hulle weeg 92, so glyskaalskop in vanaf 300. Right, dames en here, kyk net hier so. What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Daar's hulle soos hulle by die poste is, dames en here. En kyk hulle met die wie sê nou maar to go. What about 50 to go? 50 rand. Sien ek maar dan maar ek 48, dankie. Ek het 48 nou maar ek 25, maar ek nou maar ek 48 a bit now maar to go. At 25 a bit now maar ek 48 at 25, maar ek nou maar ek 48 at 25. 48.25, yeah, at 48.50, at 48, but again, at 50 now, but 48.50, 50 now, but again, number 48.50, at 48.50, but now, at 48.50 now, but again, number 48.50, what about 75 to go, at 48 at 50 now, come back at 75, at 48.50 bid now, but again, 75, 48.75 bid now, 49, 49 het ek nou, ek het 49 rand gaan, at 49 at bid now, but again, 49, at 49 the bid, ladies and gentlemen, again, number 49, 49 the bid now, but go, up now, 25, 49, 25, 49, 25, 49, 50. At 49, 50 bid, yeah. At 49, 50 bid, now, but again, at 49, 50, come back at 75. At 49, 50 bid, now, but again, at 49, at 50, 50, now, but again, at 49, 50. At 49, 50, now, but again, 75. 50 rand now. And about 50. Ek het 50 rand gaan. At 50 the bid, now, but again, at 50 is op die vloer. The bid's 50, yeah. At 50 now, but again, at 50. At 50, I'm bid again, at 50 now. At 50, I'm bid, I'm again, at 50 rand again, at number 50, 50 number 50. At 50, I'm bid, ladies and gentlemen, 25, 50, 25, 50, 50. At 50 rand 50 cent now. At 50, 50, at again, at 50, 50. At 50, 50, as you know, but again, at 50, 50, ladies and gentlemen. At 50, 50, I'm going to get 75, 50, 75, 50, 75, yeah. At 50 rand 75 cent, again, at 50, 75, 51, 51 the bid. At 51 rand again, number 51, 51 at the number again, 51 now. At 51 rand bid number 51, 51 at the number again, 51, 51 the bid. At 51 rand again, number 51 the bid, 25. At 51 at 25 at 5 again, number 51 at 25 now. At 51, 25, ladies and gentlemen, we all are done at 51, 25, 51, 50. At 51, 50 at now. At 51 at 50 now. At 51, 50 bid number again, at 51, 50 number bid number 51, 50. At 51 at 50 number again, at number 51, 50 number but yeah. At 51 75, 51, 75, 51, 75 now. At 51 at 75 again, at number at 52, 52 but a bit number at 25. At 52 the bid, ladies and gentlemen, we all are and done, yeah. At 25 the number at 2 but again at 25, 52 but again at 25, 52 but again at number at 25 at 5 again at number 52.25. At 52.25, I'm asking 52.50. 52.50 at ek nou. At asking 52.75 as julle wil. My bod is 52.50. At 52.50 at ek nummer 52.50. At 52.50, dames en here. Nou is dit 75. 52.75. At 52.75 het die gaan at 52.75 53. At 53 vir die heel beste is hierdie gaan. At 53 ander bid number at 53. 53 bid number at 53. Hulle is geënt teen back and close hier ook. At 53. At 53 bid number at 53 number go. 53. 53 bid number at 53. Op 53 ander meneer is hulle almal klaar by at 53. Number at 25. At 53 at 25. Number at 53 at 25. Number 53 25 53 50 at 53 but again at 50 now 53 50 op 53 50 meneer is julle almal klaar by dit number at 53 50 ja at 53 75 53 75 at 53 but number at 75 now at 53 but number 54 54 but again at number at 54 at 54, at 54 the bid here, at 54 ander again number at 54, 54 but number again at 54, at 54 how we all out and done, ladies and gentlemen. At 54 we go once here, at 54 ladies and gentlemen we go twice, third and last time, and we knock them down at 54 by a donkey. 54 and the buyer is 5021. Dames en here, dit is dan die einde van ons veiling. Ons sê vir almal wat ingeskakel het, baie dankie. Dankie aan die kopers wat deelgeneem het. Dankie aan die verkopers wat die beeste verskaf het. Dames en here, gee ons so 'n halfuur om al die papierwerk aan hierdie kant bymekaar te kry en dan kan julle begin skakel as julle wil om te laat weet wanneer julle lorries beskikbaar is. Vir almal wat hierso is, julle is almal welkom vir 'n lekker braaivleisie voordat julle in die pad val. Vir almal aanlyn, baie dankie vir julle deelname. Ons gesels dan binnekort.